Welcome everyone to Session 2 of the Hall of the Dwarven King, our campaign for the One Ring. This Session 2 we're joined with Craig. You are playing Link, and I'll give you a chance to introduce your character in a moment, but I want to recap what the others did first. So they started out in Bree, and they spoke with Balin, who has been a patron of sorts for them, and Balin sent them on a quest. And Balin had an old friend with him named Kali, and Kali was the son of Dali, and Dali and Balin, they went back for a long time. And Dali, he was lost. He went after some rumors, and he had an old map for this place called Gathol-Zigil, a hidden delving that he sought, and was not able to find it and never returned. It's been almost 100 years since he's been gone. And Kali finally went to Balin and said, "Please, can you help me? I have found this map, and I think it's the same map that my father used, or one like unto it, and I think this is where he went, but I'm far too old to go and do this myself." And so Balin charged us with that task, and finding the silver mine of Gathol-Zigil. And so we had a journey, and we traveled about 2 weeks, I believe was the journey. We went from Bree, we went over across the Horwell River and into a place called the Angle. And let me pull everyone to this map, and we'll take a look at it. So it should be marked on the map, so you can see Bree is right over here, and here is Gathol-Zigil at the Angle. And we took a journey. We kind of cut through the South Downs and made our way to just straight across to Gathol-Zigil. And we ran into a few bits of trouble. We ended up encountering some wolves, as well as running low on provisions, and then we had to cross the river. But through ingenuity and great skill and luck, we managed to find our way there. And then once we were there, as we explored through this, basically a tomb at this point, we found all sorts of dead bodies, old, ancient dwarven skeletons, and even a few taller folk that looked to be perhaps orcs. And we found the Hall of the King, and it was a very sad sight, for his sarcophagus had been broken into, and his body had been pulled out, and one of his fingers severed, and that finger held a ring, and this was actually one of the rings of power that were gifted to the dwarves in the First Age, or in the Second Age. And this it would have been great to find that ring, but it had long ago been taken by agents of the enemy. However, we fell upon a foe, a wanderer in the dark, a great white spider-like creature, fought a fierce battle against it, and one of our number was wounded, a poisonous wound to Haldor. But Haldor managed to overcome the wound through the correct use of King's Foil. We also found a song called the Song of Drór, and this should be... there's two ways you can find this. I think I've got it... yes, if you go to the journals, there'll be a folder that's the Hall of the Dwarven King, then there's the Silver Fortress, and then you'll see the Song of Drór. You can also click on the Fellowship. It's an actor. You can click on it and it'll pull up a little Fellowship screen. You can scroll down and you'll see songs, Song of the Hidden Circle, and it's a walking song. You can click on the little edit button that looks like a pencil checking a box. If you click on that, it will let you read the song. And the Song of the Hidden Circle, Balin was very interested in what he read there, and he suspected that there was lore hidden within the depths of that song. Now, the way that songs work is this is a walking song, so we can use it during a journey. And one of us can sing the song, meaning they have to make a song roll. And if they succeed, if anyone is weary, it counteracts those effects. So weary is what happens when your load is equal to or in excess of your endurance. And then when that happens, any 1s, 2s, or 3s that you roll count as 0. So using this song during a journey would help to counteract that. And none of us have ever been weary yet, but we still have some fatigue and I think some shadow, which is going to affect our hope as well. It begins to accumulate. But we do have this song if we need to use it on a journey. We found King Drór, this Dwarven king, and his sarcophagus had been broken open. Hand had been despoiled, ring was stolen. We also found the lower half of, looked like a fresher dwarf kill, and this was undoubtedly Dolly. This was the person we had come to find. So we only had bad news to bring back, but perhaps that would give Kali, his son, some closure. We buried Dolly's body there in the mine, gave it all the honors that a dwarf could give, and then we left. And we made our way back to Bree, where we met with Balin, and Dolly was saddened to hear the passing of his father, but he'd had a century to prepare for it. But as the last bits of hope ebbed out of him, he lowered his head into his hands and wept gently while Balin began to raise toasts to the memory of his father. We then had a fellowship phase, where we were able to undertake two things. One was to meet with Balin, and then the second one, we strengthened the fellowship. And so on our community, normally we would have 6 fellowship points, but we now have 7 for this session. And that extra one will only be for this session, so use it or lose it. Again, the way that fellowship points work is during a rest, and that can be a short rest or like a full night's sleep, you can pull points out of the fellowship point pool to restore hope. And everyone kind of has to agree on how they spend it, so someone can't say, "Oh, I'm taking all the points." You guys have to decide, do you need all the points, or can you get by with 1 or 2? We can also, because Balin is our patron, we can spend a fellowship point during combat to make a combat roll favored, as we think of our patron, and it inspires us to drive hard with our blades. We also have a fellowship focus, or most of us do. We're going to correct that right now. A fellowship focus is someone in the party to whom you are particularly fond, and should you aid them in any task, they will gain an extra die. And to aid someone, you'll spend a point of hope out of your own pool, and they'll get 1 extra die. But if it's your fellowship focus, they'll get 2 die. And so it's very useful. But there's a penalty. If your fellowship focus, if they take a wound, you take a point of shadow, and there's no test to try to counteract that. And so seeing your dear friend wounded lowers your or raises your shadow score, bringing you closer and closer to becoming miserable. Now, I think the only 2 that don't have a fellowship focus is Fatimer and Link. And you guys don't have to choose each other. You can choose anyone. Like, if you think of the Fellowship of the Ring, Boromir was probably, I think Pippin and Merry were his favorites. Everyone seemed to love Gandalf. Aragorn seemed to be really, close to Frodo, but so did Sam. So 2 people, picked Frodo. So you guys can choose anyone that you like, but if you want to do that now, you can, or if you want to hold off until you've adventured a little bit, you can as well. So we'll start with Fatimer. Do you want to choose yours now, or do you want to wait?
I'd like to wait.
Okay. And Link, do you want to wait, or do you want to choose someone now?
I will wait.
Okay, perfect. So let's get started. Now, we are in the village of Bree at the Prancing Pony, and again, Mr. Butterbur is the proprietor. This is like the great-grandfather or grandfather of Barlaman Butterbur of the Lord of the Rings fame. There is a family resemblance, and they have run this for generations and will continue to run it for generations. And as we are around the fire, the hearth, Balin turns to us, and he has a concerned look upon his face. And he does not look pleased. It's been maybe a week since we returned from our journey to Gathol-Zigil, and he's been very quiet for several days. And finally, he speaks up. And he actually stands to get your attention, and it grows quiet around the table. Something has been troubling me since your recent task was completed. I cannot hold my tongue any longer. Is it true you left him there? King Drór of old, in a broken sarcophagus, plundered and cast aside like some common brigand's victim? By Mahal's beard, that will not do. A king of Durin's folk deserves better than dust and dishonor. It grieves me to hear it, friends. Aye, it grieves me sorely. Drór was no small name among our people. His reign may be forgotten by many, but not by us who remember. His bones must be set to rest in dignity, with words and rites befitting a dwarf king. I ask you, nay, I charge you, to return to Gathol-Zigil and see it done rightly. And he begins to stroke his beard and fixing you all in turn with a stern eye. But there is more to weigh upon your shoulders. Travelers on the Great East Road speak of troubles. Bandits lurking by a ravine where the road skirts the Trollshaws. It is said they strike without warning, stealing goods and lives alike. If you go back to the halls where you found Drór, you will pass that way. Look into it. If there be truth in these rumors, I hope you'll see fit to put an end to such villainy. The road must be kept safe if any of our folk or the free peoples are to travel in peace. Yet mark me well, the Trollshaws are no friendly country. Those woods and stony heights earned their name for a reason. Many a traveller has been crushed to pulp beneath a troll's hand, or vanished among the ruins that dot the highlands. Once there were fair castles and towers, now nothing but broken stones and shadows. Worse still, not only trolls dwell there. Creatures out of the cold fells and darker things from the misty mountains make those forests their hunting ground. They'll see you as prey, nothing more. So tread with care, my friends, for I would not have you meet your end before your task is done. He lets out a deep sigh, and his sternness seems to give way to something a little bit more solemn. Bring honor back to King Drór's rest, and show these bandits that the free peoples are not so easily preyed upon. Do this, and you'll not only earn my thanks, but the thanks of all who walk the East Road without fear. Go then, and may Durin's blessing walk beside you. I have asked for one that I know, a great bold man. He goes by the name of Link. He has agreed to join you in this task. And he points over at Link, who is a stout-hearted Barding. And Link, I'll give you a chance to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about Link, what we see, and what perhaps we've heard of Link.
Well, Link is a man of the Dale. He was but a lad when Bilbo visited the Dale, and they had the great battles there and all of that. And ever since then, he has wanted to see the wide world. So he took the calling of the messenger and has traveled ever since, back and forth from the Dale to outside of that realm. But he recently wanted to go farther east and see the places where Bilbo had spoke of, particularly the Shire. And he was very taken by Bilbo because he had never seen a halfling hobbit before, and he was very intrigued by him.
So you've undoubtedly noticed Fatimer seated at the table, plump and cheerful and always with a biscuit at hand. Does Fatimer remind you of Bilbo?
Yes, and his fascination with the hobbits stem are somewhat, I don't want to say misgiving, but juxtaposed by the fact that they're small like children but fully adult.
Mm-hmm.
And he has, at times when he's met hobbits, always felt very protective of them, and not necessarily treated them like children, but always been protective of them.
Nice. A table or a chair is slid out at the table, and there's a red-bearded dwarf, and he looks you up and down. And what does he say to you? And Luke, this is your turn.
I was hoping. The red-bearded dwarf. I was like, do another one of them? No. Okay. Yeah, Vidar would be looking you up and down. Aye, well, Balin was speaking the truth when he said there's unfinished business. If you're willing to help, I'm happy to work with you.
Now, Link, give me a travel roll, just to see if you've had any encounters with these bandits. And sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, although I did.
No, that's okay. You wanted me to roll?
Yes, please.
Okay. And I do...
Do you remember
I believe
how to
travel...
Yeah.
Yes, travel is actually favored.
Yeah, excellent.
For me, so...
So that is a success. Just barely. You needed a 15 and you got a 16. So have you had an experience with these bandits, or have you merely heard of these bandits? And the Trollshaws, if you haven't found it on the map, is kind of up above Gathol-Zigil. Right.
Yes,
in
Link,
between the last bridge and Rivendell.
Link actually traveled past there, but being that he was alone, he went off of the road a little bit to the south.
Yeah, probably to avoid that
avoid,
edge of the Trollshaws. Yeah. Now, Haldor, give me a lore roll as you hear us speak of the Trollshaws.
Yeah, let's see. Lore.
Well, with the Gandalf rune, it's an automatic success. You know that the Trollshaws are a dangerous place, and that the Rangers have often watched over this area. Due to the proximity to Rivendell, many times the elves keep the trolls in check. But there are indeed trolls in the Trollshaws, and much worse. But of interest was when Balin mentioned ruined buildings and ruined structures, and you have actually heard a rumor of a building in the Trollshaws, and it's brought to mind as you hear about the what he's speaking of these ruins and things. And you had an experience, perhaps you overheard someone speaking of it, about an ancient tower near the Trollshaws. What remains of some sort of castle or outpost from the time of the old kings. And wanderers often speak of an eerie blue light that is sometimes seen from the fords of Bruinen. If you stand in the right spot and you look into the Trollshaws, often you will see this blue light, like a star shining above the mists. No one goes there, but people have begun to encounter these bandits in the area, and you know that the Rangers have grown concerned about this. And so this may be a chance to take out two birds with one stone, as it were.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I would inform the rest of the party on the knowledge that I have of this old ruins tower, and mention that I've always wanted to see it, though I haven't myself.
Now, Vidar and Frór, you were just chewed out by Balin for leaving a Dwarven king out of his sarcophagus, his body spoiled. You did, and I actually went through the last session and made sure, you did go to the pains of burying Dolly, which was good. And I even asked, do you take care of anyone else? And it was agreed that no, now that we've vanquished the evil, this is a good resting place for these dwarves. And that would be true, but not for a dwarven king. And upon hearing of your transgression, I need both of you to make a valor roll. This is a shadow roll, or take 1 point of shadow. As the shame of what you... it's simply an oversight, but as the shame begins to bear into you, you will both take 1 point of shadow.
That is pretty shameful.
Yeah. But you do know that to set this right would certainly remove much of your worry and stress. So in game terms, there would be a big reward of removing shadow if you undertake this. Like 3 points of shadow would go away. So definitely much good to come of it. However, Balin urges you to do it soon. It is bearing down upon the end of summer, and he knows it will take you probably another month to get there and back, just like it did the first time. But you need to plot your path. And so we're all looking at the campaign journey map. We're starting in Bree. If you want to use the drawing tool, if you go on the left-hand toolbar, it looks like a pencil, should be the drawing tool. And then one of the tools is draw freehand. It looks like a cursive or a squiggle, and you can draw on the map. So you have some options. You can take the Great East Road over here to the Troll Shaws, maybe encounter the bandits, and then cut down to the angle and go to Gathol-Zigil. You can do what you did before and cut through the South Downs and take the more direct route. You can also, you could take the Greenway if you really wanted to, and go down, clear down towards Starbad and then back up. How do you propose to journey back there?
Yes, well, first and foremost, it is good to meet you, Link. I am Frór Wildstep. I am from the Kingdom of Erebor, and so likely our people are good friends and would be familiar with one another.
Well met.
And Fatimer, in between bites of biscuit, how do you introduce yourself to Link?
Well, I'll raise a glass to him and I'll say, it's always good to have more company. The more the merrier.
I look forward to breaking biscuits with you.
Oh yes, of course. I have plenty of those.
Do you give me a courtesy roll, if you would, Fatimer? You probably don't think to share the biscuits you have on your plate. You've only got one left, and you know it would be unseemly to offer him that, because he would of course turn it down, because he wouldn't want to embarrass you and take the last biscuit. So rather than put him through that, you just simply plop that biscuit into your mouth and begin to munch on it. And he probably thinks nothing of it, and you're probably grateful for the extra treat. But as we get down to business, Balin rolls out a map and says, "Which way shall you journey? Will you take the road? Will you go cross-country? Will you explore lands to which you've never been?"
Would it not make sense to take the east road so we can pass the troll shaws and investigate this bandit problem on our way?
Balin nods thoughtfully, but looks at everyone else. "I leave it to you to make the choice."
Yes, I would agree with the ranger. It would be best if we go along the east road, that we might investigate this problem that there's been with bandits.
Let me draw this a little bit better for us on here. So we follow the roads. This will become part of our record. So let's see if I can stick to the road as much as possible.
In fact, could I make a riddle roll? Being a treasure hunter, perhaps I know of ruins in that area that might give rise to bandits looking to plunder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Relics.
You know that there are definitely ruins. In fact, Balin mentioned some of the ruins there, and Link, and Haldor, Link knows that there's bandits in the area, and bandits, if they are stealing stuff, they've put it somewhere. So there's definitely the bandit loot. But Haldor knows that there are ruined buildings, and this rumor of a place that has some sort of activity at it, there's likely ancient and old treasure there. Now, when you went to Gathol-Zigil, it had been essentially plundered for all intents and purposes. You found a few scattered coins here and there, but it looked as though the bodies had been picked clean. But if you wanted to find something, the Trollshaws, that's an area where few people would dare tread, and there's likely treasure to be had there. Do we undertake the journey?
Yes. This is perfect.
Anything else we want to do before we head out?
I don't believe so.
I want to get extra biscuits.
Yeah.
I think we definitely need extra biscuits. So we stock up on various provisions and whatnot.
Yeah, maybe rations.
You know the journey is going to be about, well, it was 2 weeks last time, so it's going to be likely the same amount of time. And give me 1 second. So the way that journeys work from a GM perspective is we plot it on a map, and then I have a different map that has hexes on it, and I can go ahead and plot it on there, and then I can count the hexes, and that's how many days it will take us, more or less. So let me do that for myself really quickly, and that also helps me know if we encounter any troubles along the way, kind of how long it should take us. Let me get the tool on here. Correct. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5. It could take us, going this route could take us upwards of 19 days, because it's a longer route. Last time we went kind of as the crow flies. This one is not. This one's definitely perhaps a little bit longer, but we do get the benefit of being on the road, which means we're far less likely to encounter trouble on the road. So let's go to our journey.
Would it make sense for us to travel with a journey straight to the Trollshaws as the entirety of the journey, knowing that we're going to be interacting there, and then a separate journey to Gathol-Zigil?
You could, if you want to go and try to encounter those bandits first. You could just take the journey to the Trollshaws. The problem is the journey doesn't really end unless you have a safe place to rest. So you'd probably end up having to go back to Bree to have that count as a safe place. Otherwise, the fatigue would still accumulate. But you could, like once you hit the point near the Trollshaws, their journey will end for that purpose, and we'll probably do some stuff, and then we'll just pick the journey up as you head down to Gathol-Zigil, is very likely.
Got it.
So let me take us to our journeys page, and let me drag out some tokens here. So the way that we do journeys is we have to choose some roles that we want to undertake. One person will be the guide, and then we have a hunter, a lookout, and a scout. And oops, I think I drew on this. Let me grab that.
I think I'll try to redeem myself as hunter. No one disagrees.
I would be happy to do. I have favored in travel, so I don't know if that might be guide.
So the guide will roll travel, hunters will roll hunting, lookouts will roll awareness, and scouts will roll explore.
Okay.
And when we do the event, if it happens on the road, you get a bonus 6-sided die to whoever is having to make that roll, the scout, lookout, or hunter. And we can have multiple scouts, and then you guys will choose like who this happens to, and the other one can spend a point of hope to assist them if they choose to. So the way that the Foundry system for this works, there's also under the equipment, it looks like a little suitcase. There's a folder, it's called Journey Logs, and let me make this one observable. And let me see what it's called Back to Gathol-Zigil. And so let me put everyone in the right spot. So we've got Link as the guide, Haldor's the hunter, Fatimer's... Oh, you guys, wow, you went to the same roles where I had thought you guys would go. So that's fantastic. Excellent. We have 4 mounts. Haldor does not have a mount, but everyone else has either a pony or a horse, which will help to reduce your fatigue, and we'll calculate that fatigue at the end. But the first thing we need to do is to have a travel roll. And this is to determine how far we get before there is an event. And so, Link, you'll be making that travel roll for us. And if you want to spend hope on any of these rolls, you're more than welcome to. If you spend hope, it will give you an extra 1d6. And if you become inspired, that means that you're calling upon your distinctive feature, which for Link, your distinctive features are fair, tall, and you've got folklore as well. Fair probably wouldn't help. Tall might, you see down the road, maybe try and see past the path there. I might be convinced to let you use that a time or two. But otherwise, if you spend hope, you'll just get 1 point.
Okay. I'm going to hold on to my hope for now and trust my skills.
Great success. So that is with a d6. So you'll go 3 hexes plus 1 for that great success. So 4 hexes until we have an event. Roughly 4 days. So let me just mark that on our map so we have a good record of this, and then we will figure out what that event is going to be. So give me 1 moment, if you would. So we've got 4 hexes. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Just near Weathertop is where we have it. We've gotten, thankfully, past the Midgewater Marshes.
Oh, well, nothing bad ever happens at Weathertop.
Never. Oops, let me get this. Come on, draw on there. Okay. Sorry, I'm having some technical issues with Foundry here. There we go. Okay, we go to our journey map. Right about here is where it happens. And I'll show you that map shortly. In fact, I think you guys at any time can access the campaign journey map. I don't think I need to send you there. But I've got it marked on the map. Now we need to determine who the target of that is going to be. And so I'm going to roll a 6-sided die. And we'll see who it is. /R 1DS. So it is the scouts. And so the scouts are going to have something that happens, but we're going to determine what the event is. So this is in a borderland. So I'm going to roll a 12-sided die, and we'll see what the event is. Ooh! Okay, terrible misfortune. If our scout fails this roll, they will become wounded, and everyone will gain 3 points. So maybe all is not well near Weathertop. And the terrible misfortune is that one of the horses are frightened. A bird flies out of a bush near the road, frightening one of the horses. And it's going to be of one of the two dwarves. Which of you want to try to prevent this from happening? Vidar or Frór?
It's now a bad time to say that Vidar is awful at everything but travel. I was really hoping it wouldn't roll the scouts.
Well, Frór, do you wanna try and tackle this one?
Yes, Frór will attempt to calm the horse.
Go ahead and give me that roll. Ooh, thank goodness for the 10. So you get a success, and so your horse bolts, and you nearly fall off, but you manage to hang on. You put the reins in your teeth and try to pull yourself up. Tell me about this experience. Where does your horse go, and how does this result in being a terrible misfortune?
Well, I think the horse, as it's running along, gets its hoof stuck in a gopher hole, and it perhaps hurts its leg a little bit, but nothing that a little healing won't fix and a night of rest.
Let's see, Frór's pony bolts, and much time is wasted. Okay, so then I'm going to give, I'm going to put down travel fatigue. Everyone picked up 3 points from that misfortune. It's kind of a bad omen that this bird startled the horses. And you have to go off country into the brush to go and get this horse, and it's difficult to get it back towards the road. It wastes time, but you manage to get back on track. But this was definitely not a happy time. Let's do another travel roll. So, Link, if you want to give us that. Extraordinary success. So, after 5 days, at least 5 hexes. Let me roll that. Check my map. Right there. Let's go to this map. Kind of in between Weathertop and the last bridge. Let's see who the target is here. Oh, it's going to be the scouts again. Let me roll this. Let's see what the event is. 3 ill choices. And so if the one of you that makes this roll fails, you'll gain 1 shadow point of dread. Now, Frór, you did take the last one. Vidar, if you want to take this, you can, or if Frór wants to help you or to take that burden on him, he can as well. The ill choice here is trying to find a campsite for the night. And the scouts are in charge of finding that spot. And as the two of you go off to explore, you stumble into an area where you find some bones, and these bones are relatively fresh. They're not sun bleached and dried, but they've been picked clean within the past few days. And looking at them, it's at first it's hard to tell what it is, but it looks humanoid in shape, and seeing this is again, if there could be bad omens on a journey, this might be it. And as the two of you stumble upon this, you know that you can't make camp here. If this is the bandits, this is a place where they have already waylaid someone, and you couldn't have that happen to your party. So I need one of the two of you to make that explore roll. But because we are on a road, you do get a bonus die on that.
Really feels fair for the other scout to go. And
I know that we're not physically next to each other at this moment, but could I offer a point of hope to maybe encourage him before setting out? Having
probably
been familiar with this area.
Yeah, as you told him,
you are my fellowship focus at this point, so I believe that's 2.
Yep, so he'll get a bonus 2. So yeah, you tell him, hey, we need a good campsite. The Hobbit is tired, the horses are tired. Go find us a safe place. And so you've got this encouragement, and you know that this is a big responsibility. So if Haldor spends that point of hope, then Vidar, you'll become basically inspired. You'll get 2 bonus die on that, plus you get an extra bonus die for being on a road. So you can add the 3 die to your roll here. And if you want to spend hope, you can spend hope as well.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of 6.
That is a lot. Oh, and thank goodness, because you rolled an Eye of Sauron. So,
wow. Team effort.
Team effort. So you do not gain a point of dread, but everyone will pick up 2 points of fatigue. But you've made it 5 days. That's pretty good. So Vidar, when you see this site, you probably think we can't camp here. But it's, everyone's tired. How do you rectify this through your explore roll? Why don't you narrate for me kind of what happens there?
I'm stumped by lack of imagination, but I like the idea that maybe, well, it's a little bit of a misfortune, but it looks like there's some shelter not very far ahead. We could just follow the river or something. No, we're on a road. We're on a road.
Nice. Thanks for a poor campsite. A better place. Perfect. While we're at this campsite, we've spent a good 9-10 days on the road. Around this campsite, I'm going to let one of you tell a tale. Around campsites, you often do these sorts of things. If anyone wants to come up with a great story, maybe something that you've heard of this area, or some great heroic deed that you've done, this will count as a means to inspire, and I'll give you a roll, like either a song or a riddle roll. If you pass, everyone will remove 1 point of fatigue as you are encouraging them. So is anyone that would like to do that?
I'm happy to tell a story similar to what I remembered earlier about the blue light being seen from the Trollshaws.
Yeah,
I think that I would probably sing it.
Okay. And what is the song about? Like, what's the gist of the song? Is it a happy song, a melancholy song?
I think that it is a bit of a mysterious song, but it strikes a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? It gets us a little bit excited about the unknown. Not everything is all dark and gloomy. Sometimes wanderers see a bright light when traveling in this area. Well, something to look forward to. Maybe if we look hard enough tonight, we might see it, type of deal.
Ooh, nice. Go ahead and make a song roll.
For sure going to give some hope to this one. So let's go. There we go. Song Hope. And not the greatest.
Close.
Not my greatest work.
So the song it's good. It's a good song, but I think perhaps it is, this campsite. The two dwarves are a little bit unnerved by that, and whatever good you bring about with the song, maybe Frór and Vidar are like, yeah, but did you see them bones over there? What about that poor fellow? And it kind of spoils the mood there. And Fatimer, you're probably taking this the worst of all, because you struggled last time. The road was much harder than you had expected. You had taken walks from Hobbiton to the Brandywine Bridge, and it's quite nice, and birds and gentle folk, but here on the road, like bones of someone, and you've encountered wolves and other such things. This song is you do your best to try to be inspired by it, but it's just not happening for you. We get up the next morning and continue on the road, mindful that we're getting ever closer to the Trollshaws, and we need another travel roll from our guide, from Link.
Okay.
That's a success. So we go 3 hexes. Let me note that down. 1, 2, 3. We make it to the last bridge. And let me get on our journey map. So let me see who the target will be. Come on, anyone but not the hunters. Or the scouts. There we go, the lookout. Oh, Fatimer. It falls upon you. Let's see what it's going to be. A mishap. So if the roll fails, 1 day is added to the length of the journey, and you will gain 1 additional fatigue. And so for the lookout, this is awareness. So as we come upon the bridge, you know that if you were a bandit, this is probably the place where you would want to attack. Because if someone's stuck on the bridge and you're able to halt their progress, they have nowhere to go. Especially if they have a wagon, if it's a merchant or a caravan. This is a choke point right here on the bridge. This is the only crossing point as well for miles around for anyone with a wagon. And so you could easily set up shop and say, hey, you need to pay the toll to get across the bridge. And so you're eager to ensure that this does not happen. However, as you begin to approach the bridge, your eye is drawn by a beautiful bluebird. And this bird is flitting around in the bushes and singing, and it begins to distract you. And it's a struggle to keep your eye looking out for bandits when you've got this beautiful specimen here. And give me a roll. You're still on a road, so you'll get a bonus die. This is going to be an awareness roll. And you may spend hope if you like.
Yeah, I'll spend some hope.
Okay. Oh, that's a lot of dice. Success. So, what happens? You see the bird, but then you think, no, I've got to focus. Once you narrate that for me for just a moment.
Okay. Well, I see the bird, and I just think it's so beautiful. I've probably never seen this specific type of bird back in the Shire, and I'm just very captivated by seeing something new in my travels. But then I draw my eyes back to the road, and I see my fellow travelers and friends around me, and I realize that I need to focus so I can help my friends on this journey and prove myself to be a good traveler.
Excellent. Throw some fatigue on there. Okay, and as you are crossing the last bridge, you are getting into the Trollshaws. This is the area of greatest danger, and so you're on your guard. There's no sign of bandits here at the bridge. You see the road stretching on, but then you get into some darker terrain. In fact, when we enter the Trollshaws, on the GM map, there's a boundary around the Trollshaws, and it has a number 2. So what that means is when you enter into that spot, this is a perilous area, and you have to do 2 encounters when you strike the Trollshaw, which will be this next turn, this next travel roll. And after you've completed those 2 encounters, then you're free to move on. So let's do a travel roll. So Link, if you want to give us another travel.
Well,
Okay.
had to happen sooner or later.
It did. Well, so we go 2 hexes, which is exactly as far as you would have had to stop anyway. So we go 2 hexes and we get halted. Let me mark this on the map. And now we have to complete 2 events here before we can continue on. And let me see the target of the first event. It's going to be Fatimer again, and let's look at the second event while we're here. Fatimer twice.
Oh boy.
Picking on the Hobbit. So Fatimer, this is an ill. This roll will be ill favored. This is a dark land in the Trollshaws. So this is a 2DF keep low. Is another mishap as we get into the Trollshaws, and let me see what the second one is. An ill choice. Okay, well, let me just mark this on our journey. Scout. Ill choice. Dark Island. And Scout. Or no, the second one was an ill choice. First was a mishap. Or no, they were both. Were they both mishaps? Let's see. It was a mishap and then an ill choice. Okay, the mishap. As you make your way into the Trollshaws, the air grows rather still, and it's nearing the evening of your second day, and you are making slow progress. The horses are rattled. You've gotten tired. It's been an arduous journey, but you've made it to the Trollshaws, and now it's simply a matter of finding these bandits. Now, Fatimer, you're of course on the lookout for this, but if you're trying to find bandits and they don't want to be found, your job is difficult, and that's what you're trying to do. Any sane traveler would be trying to avoid the bandits, but how do you propose to try and find these bandits?
I don't know, maybe looking for signs of them, like disrupted wildlife or
Perfect.
something.
Maybe prints, like boot prints or things like
Yeah.
that, or signs of conflict or scuffle.
Yes.
Give me that awareness roll, and you're still on the road, but you're in a perilous land, so you will not get that extra 1D on there.
I'm gonna use hope on this.
Okay. Oh, Gandalf rune. A great success with a bonus die. And so the mishap is you don't add any length to the journey, you don't gain any additional fatigue. Everyone will gain 2 fatigue because you're taking your time. You're looking around, you want to find where the trouble spots are. But trouble finds you, and that is the next event. Let's see, spending time looking for bandit sign. The next morning, just at the crack of dawn, Fatimer, you hear a sound. And you hear the sound, and it seems to wake you from your troubled sleep. Perhaps you were not on watch. Perhaps you had gotten up to go and heat up some water for your morning tea. Give me that second awareness roll to see if you become aware of what is about to happen. Oh, Gandalf rune to the rescue. Automatic success. So you do not gain a point of shadow, but what you do gain is the knowledge that your encampment has been found. And you're out heating up this water, and you hear the crack of a twig. And you don't look at it right away. You don't want to give away the fact that you have noticed this. That's your automatic success. You're like, oh, I heard that. And so you go about your business, but you're kind of scanning out of the side of your eye, your peripheral vision. You're looking for movement, and there you see it. You see movement in the trees. And it's something moving from left to right. And it looks like a person, a man-sized person. And you hear more sounds as you're becoming keenly aware. The big thing that you notice is there's no birds calling. And then you begin to hear a call, and it's an alarm call of a bird that has probably woken up at the dawn or returned to its nest and discovered that it is not pleased with what's going on. And much like the bird, you feel the same way. Now, keeping watch, we'll say, is one of the 2 scouts. Which scout? You tell me who was keeping watch while this happened. Frór or Vidar?
I'll say Frór.
So you look at Frór, and Frór has not noticed this yet. Your keen Hobbit ears picked up on this. How do you get his attention?
I'll maybe clear my throat, and I'll say, oh my, what pretty scenery it is. These trees.
Frór, give me a riddle roll to see if you can pick up on that hint. Oh, yes, you do. In fact, not only do you pick up on it, but you know right away that something is afoot. Frór, how do you act? The Hobbit scout has identified something in the brush. You estimate it's probably about 40 feet away, 40 paces. Everyone else is asleep, but you and the
Fatimer has
Hobbit.
never said anything about the trees before, so I will, with some stealth, make my way back to perhaps the ranger and wake him up first, quietly, and inform him that there might be some danger.
If you are using stealth, you can give me a stealth roll. To fail, it just means you make noise, but that's probably not a bad thing. Clearly, whoever's out there knows who you are. And you can get a bonus die if, I was going to say, because you got such a good success. Roll a d6. If you get 3 on it, it'll count as a success. /R and then 1d6, not r/. You were close. Oh yeah, you do. Okay, so you get a success on your stealth. So you get up and quickly shift over to the ranger. And what do you say to Haldor?
Haldor, there appears to be some sort of danger approaching our camp. The Hobbit was alerted by it, and I think that we should wake up and be ready for what might be out there.
I'll slowly rise to my feet, and is it just the three of us awake at the moment?
Yes, unless you want to go and get someone else.
Yeah, I think I would also like to stealthily try to wake up our new man friend, Link, to let him know what's going on.
If you want to give me a stealth roll, if you're trying to not let on that you're aware of what's happening.
Yes. Where is my stealth? There it is.
Ooh, narrowly missed. So
no.
As you go to wake him up, it's not subtle, and you know that your presence is likely... You've now made your presence aware to whoever's out there. But you manage to get to Link and rouse him. And next to Link, you hear the low, rumbly snore of Vidar as he is dreaming of dwarven women. And he may take a little longer to try to rouse. Simply whispering his name or patting him is likely not going to pull him out of his slumber. Link, how do you propose to wake up the dwarf next to you?
I'm going to just kind of put my arms out like I'm stretching on the ground and kind of punch him in the arm or the side of the head.
Nice.
Subtly.
You don't even need to make a roll. You just lean over and thump. And it sounds like someone, thumping a melon to see if it's ripe. You hear this little resounding echo, and Vidar blinks a few times, probably snorts into his hand, clearing his nostrils, rolls over. What is this? And with a simple look, he can tell that all is not well. And do you all... you don't sleep with your weapons. They're probably nearby. Do you all make for your weapons, or what do you do?
Is it obvious to us that they recognize us recognizing them?
Make a riddle roll.
Oh, this is going to be bad. Oh, no, actually, I can't. Oh, no, I can. I could get a Gandalf.
Yep.
And we don't.
No. You have no idea. As far as you know, you were very loud, and you know that if you were a bandit, you would be fully aware that the camp is waking up. Yeah. Fatimer, at this point, give me another awareness roll. Do you have a weapon on your person? Or would it be by your bedroll?
I imagine it would be by my bedroll.
You look over and see it's 5 paces away. What do? You can hear more sounds. In fact, you can hear a pounding in your ears. You know it's your own heartbeat. As you look around, and you're kind of standing out by the fire by yourself. The rest of, everyone else has gone in to wake up the others, but you're sort of out in the open, standing there holding this kettle of water. What do you do?
Well, I think when Frór went to wake everyone else up, I maybe would have gone to get my weapon.
Okay, as you go over to get your weapon, with that awareness roll, you hear a soft whistle. And you've heard the birds calling. This is not a bird. This is a person whistling, trying to mimic a bird call.
Do I notice any shift in the environment around me, like other people coming?
With your success As you grab your bow and turn around, you see a figure raise up holding a bow, and an arrow flies out towards you. We're going to go to combat. Let me pull us to our combat stances. Let me grab some enemies. There are 6 of them. So the opening volley is going to come in first at Fatimer. Let me target you. Actually, let me pull us all into combat. That's what I need to do. So the opening volley will come in only at Fatimer. It'll be you won't have a chance to make that volley. You're kind of caught by surprise. And it fails. The arrow strikes your kettle, and as it pierces the kettle, hot water begins to spill out from it. You're upset for 2 reasons. 1, someone's trying to kill you, but 2, how are you going to have your tea now? That's your only kettle.
Yeah.
So much like Sam when he discovers that Frodo is likely dead, this rage takes over. You pick up your bow and whirl around just as everyone else leaps up to join the combat. So let me take us to close combat. So you can choose stances. So there's a forward stance where you're pressing the offense, you get a bonus die, but enemies attacking you also get a bonus die. The open stance, there's no advantage, no disadvantage. A defensive stance, you are more towards the defense. You lose a die when you attack, but the enemy also loses a die when they attack you. Or rearward. Now the only way we can have someone in rearward stance is if all the other enemies are accounted for. Now there are 6 of them and 5 of us, so we're actually not going to be able to assume a rearward stance until we've eliminated at least 2 of these enemies. So who wants to go into a forward stance? In fact, and you guys can select your stance. You can right click on your token, and I think on the left hand side there are 4 icons. The cross swords is forward stance. The axe is open stance. The shield is defensive stance.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, Fatimir, just stay behind me and I'll protect you.
Now Fatimer's going to have to assume one of the close combat stances because they're all charging in. So Fatimer, do you take a defensive stance, an open stance, a forward stance?
I'll go defensive.
And do you see how to select that if you right click your token? And then you can select the shield, it'll be defensive.
Okay.
There we go, excellent. And then, so the initiative goes in order of forward, open, defensive, and then rearward, and then the enemies. Now, there are 6 enemies. The top 3, these are highway robbers. The bottom 3 are footpads, kind of the lesser ranking guys, maybe the slightly easier foes. So I'll let you kind of assign who you want. Charging in, however, at Haldor is going to be one of the highway robbers. And so let me select them, and I'll put you engaged with them. Link, do you want to take on one of the tougher ones or one of the easier ones?
One of the footpads.
One of the footpads.
I want to try to get the numbers down equal so that if someone needs to go to rearward.
Perfect.
Hopefully we can get a quick kill here.
And how about Frór? Do you want to take one of the tough guys or one of the easier guys?
I think Frór would simply, he's set on protecting Fatimer and will simply allow whatever comes at him and Fatimer to attack him.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you guys one of the tough ones then. So I'm going to put him there. And how about Vidar? Do you want one of the tough guys or one of the easy guys?
Yeah, I think Vidar would be trying to intercept the highway robbers.
Okay, perfect. Let me drop this guy down here. And I'll get you two into an engagement. And then we're going to have a footpad going up against Haldor as well. And this footpad is going to go against the Hobbit. Alright, Haldor, you are up first. So you've got 2 foes on you, but you're currently engaged with that one, yeah. So you target him, and then you can roll on your weapon. Now, one thing before you roll, I think you're the only one that it affected. So you have a weapon that has Keen as a reward. And I unequipped, so you have a one-handed version and a two-handed version, and you're welcome to choose whichever you like. But I think I unequipped one of them, because if you, I
just swapped the one-handed for the two-handed here.
Perfect. If you keep them both equipped, it actually doubles your bonus for some reason. So just whichever one you don't use, just unequip it. So perfect. Go ahead and you can make your attack roll.
Yeah, we are going to go ahead and attack the one engaging me. We are going to take no chances here. Throw a hope die into the mix.
Nice.
And we are going to swing. I'm aiming to decapitate here.
Okay, you did get a piercing blow. So you'll do 5 damage, but first he needs to make a protection roll. And so his protection roll, he needs to beat an 18. Okay, he does not. So tell me how you decapitate this guy.
As first one, straight left to right, head lobbed off.
Nice. That's awesome.
With a death stare at the footpad behind him.
Head comes clean off as the footpad takes his spot, almost unaware of exactly what in the hell has just happened. We go to Link. You're up next.
Okay.
And you have
And
the
Link-
option. You can make your attack, or there's these combat tasks you can see. So from the open stance, you could rally comrades, and if they're defensive, you can protect companions. I figure
I'm
you're swinging.
stabbing him with my spear.
Perfect. No. So as you drive in with the spear, he leans to the side. This footpad is wily, and he easily sidesteps your spear. He's going to come in at you with a stroke when it's his turn, but your attack is ineffective. Vidar, you're up next.
Okay, yeah, he's just trying to push this guy with his shield and hit him with his axe one-handed.
Oh, dang. Close. Missed it by 2. So you come in, you're putting a little more emphasis on your shield. You don't want to be struck by his blade, and so you swing your attack hopeful for a hit, but it simply swipes through the air. Frór, you as well. You have a highway robber on you, armed with a cruel spear. Oh, with the Gandalf rune. You did not click on your spear, so it didn't add the combat stuff for us, or your axe, I mean. So if in future, if you click on your actual axe, it'll do the damage.
Yes, I forget.
That's okay.
Clicked on the skill,
so
yes.
I just need to figure out what the number is for your axe. The injury rating is 18, so this guy needs to beat an 18 because that's a piercing blow with the Gandalf rune. How do you finish this guy off?
With a mighty blow across the chest, send him to the ground. With a growl, I get ready to protect Fatimer.
Excellent. And Fatimer, your turn.
Okay.
Make sure you target him. Hover over his
yeah,
token.
I thought I did.
And then hit. You maybe. Oh, you did. You did. I see the dot now.
And I'll use hope for this.
Okay.
Oh.
That 10 would have been nice.
Yeah.
Your short sword, you kind of thrust it out meekly, but he easily avoids that. As we go to their turn, this footpad on Link will come in and drive his blade up against you. Or, sorry, his cudgel. He clubs at you. These guys have cudgels. And that's a miss. Narrowly misses. This footpad will come in at Haldor. Likewise with his cudgel. And that's a miss as well. Fatimer, the footpad that you tried to swipe with your sword, he sees an easy foe. And he crashes his club down upon you. But because you are so small and agile, you manage to duck away as well. And Vidar, the highway robber with his spear, aims directly for your gut, hoping to inflict a serious wound upon you. And he hits. It is not a piercing blow, but you do take some damage. I'm going to assign that to you. There we go. So you have taken 4 damage. And we go to the next round. So you can change stances now if you like. And I'm going to have to reassign. I'm going to put this footpad is going to stay on Fatimer. Seems like an easy target here. So then, Haldor, if you want to go first, you can make your attack first.
What is the kind of layout right now? Are we all bunched together?
Yeah, we're kind of in
around...
a circle, and these guys have surrounded us, and they're charging in. And so you've eliminated 2 of kind of the top 3 guys. This one down here that's fighting Vidar, he's kind of the last one with the spear. There's a good chance if you can drop him, you can intimidate the rest into fleeing. Even at this point, basically you have, in one round, you have felled 2 of their 3 biggest warriors. You could try like an intimidate roll, and you may get them to all flee at this point.
Yeah, I think at this point I'll switch stances to defensive to kind of jump back towards where one of us is already getting hurt, and
yeah, Vidar took a wound,
missing.
or didn't take a wound. He got hit here. So if you want to switch back to defensive, you can.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, and then Vidar, you're up.
Okay, yeah, Vidar smells blood in the water. The tide is turning, and he's an expert at this kind of thing. So he's now driving at this guy quite eagerly.
Ugh. Still a hit. So with the extraordinary success, you can add a heap of damage. You got 3 6s.
Yeah.
You can't make it a piercing blow because you got a 1.
3 heavy blows.
Yeah, 3 heavy blows. You'll probably finish him off just by endurance loss.
That is, I think, what, 60?
27. Okay. Let me just assign damage to this guy. How do you take that guy out?
Yeah, he hits Vidar, and it does score a blow, but, that leaves him at a disadvantage, and Vidar just easily rushes down and just buries his axe in his head.
And it strikes him right in the head. The head cleaves in half like a melon, and he stumbles down to the ground, staggering, while the other footpads just look on in absolute horror and begin to turn to run. Link, if you want to strike at this one as it flees, you can make an attack, although this is an enemy that has given up on combat. In the One Ring, there is a ways to gain shadow. One of them is a misdeed, and that is basically murder, taking out someone who is not in combat or maybe who is trying to flee. I'll let you decide, is this the misdeed if you cut this man down, or do you dare let him survive? You are here for a purpose.
No, I do not see this as a misdeed, as I am attacking him as he is deciding to turn and run. But it doesn't matter.
Nope. Best
basically, I get him, and don't come back.
Nice. Frór, your turn. You've got the one that's on Fatimer. If you want to tackle them and see what you can do with your axe. Not much.
As I try and get in the way, it's simply too difficult to strike a blow with Fatimer there.
Fatimer, your turn.
Okay.
Ooh. Almost. Very close. The footpad...
Could I...
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say, I think when I went to defensive, I didn't move my guy, so never had a chance to do anything. I was going to ask if I could do an athletics check.
It took you out of initiative order for some reason. Let me put you back in. Let's put you on defensive. Yeah, so I totally skipped your turn. So if you want to go ahead and take your turn, you're more than welcome to.
All good. No, I hit the wrong button. I was going to say, could I do an athletics check to try to grapple the guy on me to the ground, non-lethally, of course, to try to hold him down to...
I like it. Go for it.
See what we might see here. I am going to go ahead and use a hope for this. Okay. One of my... distinctive features is swift.
Perfect.
Moving swiftly, quick to take action. Is that?
Yep. So if you select hope, and then you can select the inspired box as well.
Awesome.
Extraordinary.
I'd like to leap and tackle this man to the ground.
With an extraordinary success, you not only tackle him to the ground, you disarm him, and you probably drive him face first down into the dirt around the campsite. Upon seeing this, the other footpads say, "We'll see you later, Reggie," and they take off and bolt into the woods. Does anyone want to pursue them? Okay.
I think they've learned their lesson.
Yeah, you would think so. They're obviously terrified if they are leaving one of their own here. But you now have a prisoner, and he's crying, he's sobbing. Look what you done! Look what you done to me, mates! No, don't kill me! Don't kill me! I come for food. We're hungry, you see.
I think I'd like to intimidate this man by telling him if you don't want to end up like your mates here, you'll tell us right now how many more there are you and where you are.
Ooh. Give me... To intimidate is awe. You can give me an awe roll. Or you can, if you want to intimidate with your weapon, you can make a weapon roll.
I will take the weapon roll all day, every day.
Right.
And that's not an attack, just a weapon roll.
You're just,
right.
Look how sharp this spear is, right here by your guts. Or your sword, I should say.
Pull my sword close to his face, and he is not impressed.
He's like, you're not going to hurt me. You're one of them rangers. I threw down my weapon. I'm safe. Ha ha. But I am hungry. Please, we just come looking for food.
I sheathe my sword and motion to the others in a, will you guys do something?
It was a great idea. It's just the dice were not with you. I think you could have rolled only 1 point lower than you did, I think. So Vidar, you took a hit. You're bleeding. What's your view on this little thief out here? He says he's just coming to get food. Would you go ask for food with an arrow shot into a camp and then drawing out clubs and spears?
No, definitely not. And I don't think Vidar is particularly, he's got a strong sense of justice. He's like cleaning the brain matter off of his axe in front of this guy for sure. I don't really have any questions.
Link will try to play good sheriff.
Nice.
To
Good sheriff, bad sheriff.
To their bad sheriff, and I'll kind of put my arm around him and kind of turn him away from the others a little bit, and I'll use my persuasion.
Nice.
My persuasion and my courtesy to try to say, look, just make it easy on yourself. Just tell us what we want to know. How many more of you are there?
Go ahead and make a roll and add a bonus die since you are trying to catch this fly with honey, and you're taking. You saw that the first approach was not working, so add a bonus die to this persuasion roll. Ooh, nice. He says, "Look there's a lot of us. Sure, and there is. And he starts kind of counting on fingers, and he sort of loses track. Dozens of us there is. Aye. And if you let me go, I'll show you where the others be."
If we break out our map, can we have him tell us on the map where?
He looks at the map. Lines and lines everywhere. Where are we on this map? And you point to the Trollshaws and the Eastern Road. Oh, aye, the road. And he kind of looks around, surveying the land. Licks his finger, holds it up. Aye, we're up here. And he points. It's about 1 hex away, deep into the Trollshaws. There be some ruins and a bridge, and that's the little hidey hole there. But they're gonna assume that I'm done for, and I am, sir, unless you let me go. I swears I'll go to Tharbad. I'll never harm another soul. Honest work I'll get. I'll work a ship, perhaps a trade. I've always wanted to be a carpenter. Please, will you let me go, sir?
Well,
and you can make a riddle roll to see if you believe him.
A what roll?
Riddle.
Riddle?
You're not great at it, but you may get a Gandalf room. Nope. It's possible. He seems scared. He seems frightened.
I'm tempted just to feed you to the dwarves over there.
Oh no, sir, please, no. Look, I'll even tells you the password to get in.
What's the password?
The password is 3 scales, 2 suns, and 1 tree. Whisper it's out, and no one will harm you when you step in.
3
Step
scales.
in where?
In the little hidey hole we have.
3 scales, 2 suns, and what?
1 tree.
Okay, just so I can remember. This is a fellowship decision as to what to do with this guy.
I say we've gotten what we need out of him. We can cut him loose. He's not much more use to us, and I doubt he'll try to attack us again.
Oh, no. I'm done with that life for sure. The hard life, that's the one for me. The easy life, no. It doesn't pay. And he looks down at his companions. See, it didn't pay them now, did it?
Well, perhaps
Make sure-
we should have him go towards Bree, and we can watch him and make sure he doesn't go to warn his fellows.
Sir, I'm wounded. You would think I would do such things? Of course, I'll head far away. I'll never come back to these woods ever again.
Make sure we take his club from him.
But what if I'm to be fallen upon by evil men? Or a wolf? Or a goblin? How will I protect myself?
You will whistle and you will dance for them. This is not my affair.
All right, sir. Begging your pardon. Well, can I at least have some breakfast?
Piss off.
And he lowers his head and begins to walk away from your campsite. He's heading west in the direction of Bree. And he looks back a time or two, looks at each of you in turn, nods his head, and disappears into the trees. If one of you wants to follow him, you can. That would be a hunting roll if you want to try and just keep an eye on him, make sure he's going where he said he's going.
I wouldn't mind doing a little hunting and doubling back.
Yeah. Oh, nice. You see, you follow him for about an hour, and he does head straight to the road, and he begins to walk, and he turns and he looks to the north, kind of into the Trollshaws, and you can tell he's weighing a decision in his mind. Then he turns and looks back, and he can't see you. You've tried to stay hidden, as though he's debating really what he should do. And then you see him shrug his shoulders, and he begins to walk towards Bree, and you hear a faint whistle coming from him. He's whistling a traveling tune to himself as he walks towards Bree. It seems as though he made the wise choice.
I think I double back and let everybody know.
Now, back at camp, we've got a chance to do like a short rest. It takes about an hour, but during this time, you can recover your strength score in health. The only one that is wounded is Vidar. Your strength score is 6, so you can recover 6 health. So under the little rest thing, there's a short rest. Looks like a little campfire. It's under like resources, right above your combat stuff. You can click on that little short rest. Yeah, you'll recover your endurance. If anyone, during a rest, you can spend fellowship points. If anyone needs to pull from the fellowship pool, we have 7 points right now. You guys are welcome to use them. If you want to restock some of your hope, you can do that now. This would be a good opportunity. Right now, it looks like Haldor, you're down 4 hope, and Link is down 1. Vidar is down 2, and Fatimer's down 4. Any of you want to take some fellowship hope?
No, not
Okay.
yet.
You can also recall in combat, you can spend a fellowship point to make a roll favored in combat. You've got a pretty good lead on where you suspect the bandit camp might be. You've reached this point in your journey where we can add the fatigue of your journey as you're going to head on to the camp and try to be rid of these bandits. So let me tally that up. At this point in the journey, you can each. Well, I will reduce your fatigue. Actually, let's see. That last event, there is fatigue from it. Let me see how much fatigue we get from that event. Ill Choices gets 2 fatigue, so let me add the 2 fatigue. And then you can each, we'll reduce it by your mount, and then you can make a travel roll as well to try and reduce more fatigue.
Where's our fatigue found at on the
It's probably
character sheet?
You may not have any fatigue right now, but that will change here in just a moment. I think it's down by your resources.
Yes, it's the little box under load.
Yeah, because it counts as
Oh,
load.
okay. I see it. I see.
What's the total fatigue count at this point?
So,
I guess it's different because.
Yeah, so right now, I'm taking it off for the mounts. And let me look at these rolls and I'll tally it up. So, travel roll. Let's see. Fatimer, you got a success, an extraordinary success. So you got 2 6s, so you reduce it by 3. So Fatimer, your fatigue will be 5. Haldor, you did not lower any. You actually will have 9 fatigue. Vidar, you will have 7. Frór, you will have 5 as well.
And then I did succeed on my travel roll.
Yeah, so that's what I was just looking at. So and you got a great success, so that lowers it by 2. So you did have 7, and yours gets dropped down to 5. So Fatimer should be at 5 fatigue, Vidar's at 7, Frór's at 5, Haldor is at 9, and Link, did you make a travel roll?
Yes, I did. I made 3 of them, I believe.
Well, like right now, did you make a travel roll?
Oh, no, not yet.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, you can make one right now, and then if you get any successes on that, it will reduce your fatigue. So it reduced it by 1. So Link, yours is 6. So Haldor is worse for wear. So if you want to put these onto your fatigue, Fatimer is 5, Vidar is 7, Frór is 5, Haldor is 9, and Link, you are 6. So that will count kind of as load, and as your load approaches your endurance, you may become weary. Yeah, so right now, Haldor, your load is effectively 20. So you lose 5 points, you will become weary. But then every day...
And how do we get rid of fatigue later?
So
outside
later,
of,
it's every
one roll?
day you spend like in a safe place. And right now you're not in a safe place. But if you're camping in a safe location or like in an inn for sure, you lose like 1 a day. So the fatigue will probably be with you for the remainder of the journey. But then when you get back home, you rest for 2 weeks, you've lost all the fatigue. So you shouldn't have had any fatigue to start with. That should have all gone away. But you've picked up the 9 plus your 11 load puts you at 20. Then you can reduce it if you have a mount, which you are the only one that does not have a mount because of your poor financial standing. You are frugal. You don't get a mount, but if you can obtain a mount, that will reduce it after a journey. Plus, it's these travel rolls at the end that help you to reduce it. So, any questions about fatigue? Everybody good on that? Why don't we take a break? Let's take like an 8-minute intermission right now, and when we get back, we will go to the bandit camp.
Wonderful.
Be back shortly.
rescue the princess from the evil goblin. I ignore all the signs of impending danger because I'm a fighter and not some crappy ranger. 47 hit points and a high dexterity, 17 for strength. Kobolds are afraid of me, crafted from numbers on living paper. I escape from the mundane to a medieval caper. While in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice, and my fate is unspoken. I locate the lair, but it doesn't make much sense to me. I think that the DM might be out to get me. A hero in armor and truth, bards tell my legacy. The flame of my torch illuminates the enemy. I win in the battle, hewing foes asunder. The deeper I venture, the deeper I wonder. The bodies pile up before me, the corpses I plunder. The deeper I venture, the deeper I wonder. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to a medieval caper. And while in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice, and my fate is unspoken. I drink my last potion. I charge through the open gate. The flame of the dragon, try to seal my awful fate. With a handful of dice, 5 times I roll 20. The dragon goes down, the DM no bloody. I leave with the princess, a satchel chock full of gold. We head to the tavern where my mighty tale unfolds. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to a medieval caper. While in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice, and my fate is unspoken. The king he honored me with the mighty crossbow. It's blessed by the elves, he said. I thank him and I go.
All right, I am back. Is everyone here?
Hello.
Hello, Luke.
Hello.
Hello, Haldor. We'll give everyone a minute here. Do we have a link or a Frór?
Link is back.
There's a link. And how about Frór? Is Frór with us?
Yes, I'm back.
There's Frór. Perfect. Excellent. Okay, so Haldor returns from tailing the footpad as he headed off into the greener pastures towards Bree, deciding this is a good time to give up banditry once and for all. However, we do have directions to the bandits' camp. This is going to be a relatively easy thing to find because we do have directions, but it's going to still take a roll. This is going to be an explore roll, and any of you are welcome to make this roll. Is there anyone that wants to take this?
Frór, being familiar with searching for runes, would offer to guide us.
Yeah, and you're really good at exploring as well.
I do have a spyglass that helps me with exploring. Can
Perfect.
I use that to gain a bonus?
Yep, that will give you a 1d bonus, so that's in your useful gear. Or traveling gear, I forget what it's called. And a Gandalf rune, automatic success. So you're looking with the spyglass for, this camp, and you see that now that the dawn is here, the morning is just creeping over the mountains to the east. The long shadows are slowly melting away. There is a mist that hangs over the Trollshaws, and you see it. You see this blue light, and it's a faint flash. It's almost like the reflection of something metallic, but it flickers for a moment, and then it burns with a brilliant blue glow. And it's small, but you see it in your spyglass, and it's just maybe a mile up ahead, just over the tops of the trees. And this emboldens you. This is the same direction you're heading, and could it be that this is the same place where the bandits have holed up?
Yes, Haldor and Link. That light that you had spoke of, it seems to be off there, past the hill. There seems to be some sort of light similar to what you've told of.
And Haldor, give me a hunting roll as you're looking for tracks following these footpads where they fled, but plus the larger bandit gang as they came out to your position.
Oh no. Oh, yay.
Counts as a success. Yeah, we'll take the higher of those two rolls. So you're able to follow it. It's a little tough. You got just above what your difficulty was, but you lose the tracks for a bit. But sure enough, you're back on it, and eventually you see a burnt-out campsite. There's blackened ashes and partially burnt logs around a small stone ring. The grass is all stamped down, and there are bits of bone and rinds of vegetables here. This has definitely been a campsite. And with your success, you also notice that the ash is still warm. This has been used very recently, this morning, or the previous evening, in fact. The tracks seem to lead towards where Frór had seen that light. And as you continue to follow those tracks, you come to a small ravine, maybe 100 feet deep, a great rift in the ground. And you can see as you peer down the length of the ravine, you see the tracks heading down there. In fact, there seems to be no means to traverse the chasm here, but you spot a broken bridge not far, and there's a makeshift wooden ramp, and the tracks seem to lead to that. That bridge leads down over a small section of the ravine and then down to a rocky ledge, and from there you can see what looks to be some sort of stone bridge that once led across the bottom of the ravine, but it's now broken. And I'm going to take us to a map. Right here. So hopefully you can see your tokens.
This must have been the bridge that the bandit had spoken of.
Yeah. Now you guys can see this, right? It's hopefully black and white map. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Sometimes I forget to turn on token vision, but I did it right. So you can see some stone steps leading down to this broken bridge that looms over the ravine. And across to the other side, let me grab this. You can see the remains of the ravine and the remains of the broken bridge. The footsteps seem to lead to the very bottom end of this bridge and then head across. So somehow they've gotten across.
Does it look like there's perhaps a plank or drawbridge or anything that they might have built there to help them get across, or does it look like they simply leap across the bridge?
This would be a scan roll as you're studying closely. We'll take the great success there. Yes, you can see that over here on the other side, as you peer across, there is what looks to be a small doorway carved in the stone, and you can see a plank leaning up against the side of that doorway. So they've most likely gone across and pulled the plank to their side.
I assume this is too far to realistically jump.
Not necessarily. It's possible. Probably not for the Hobbit. Probably not for the dwarves. But for Haldor or Link, it's possible. It would take an athletics roll to get across that, and to not make it would prove disastrous.
I think Haldor might give it a shot.
Ooh.
Before we go, Haldor, I would allow you to toss me across, if it comes to it.
Oh. That would give that a shot as well.
That would be another athletics roll. That would be like an opening volley with a dwarf. No, that would be another athletics roll if you want to try to toss him.
I'll take that as well. Who said that? Sorry, I didn't.
That was Frór.
That was Frór, yes.
Let's. I have a feeling this will also be disastrous for you if.
Does anyone
if
have
I fail this?
I will push off and spend a point of hope to help you.
I'm going to put Haldor down here at the bridge along with Frór.
All right, and support from a companion. We got the extra one.
Yep.
I think I'll also spend some hope for myself to.
It's kind of a big thing here.
Kind of a big deal. And yeah, we're about to send it. Are you sure you want to do this, friend?
Yes, toss me.
All right.
Got it.
Pick you up from the what are you wearing? Whatever your chest armor is from behind, and give you a good long throw over.
What do you have on? A mail shirt. Nice.
Yeah, nice grip at the collar and bottom, and give you a toss.
As you heave across to the other side, give me a valor roll, Frór, as you are thrown across this ravine. You are not inspired by this to call out to Vidar and say, "You can do it." This was terrifying. Dwarves were never meant to fly. But you've made it, and you know that if you ever have to get across this, you're going to probably try and find another way. But that's for another time. You've made it across. Give me an awareness roll, Frór. And what is Fatimer and Vidar and Link doing?
I would maybe be checking my pack for a rope or something.
So, Frór, you used your item, correct?
Yes, I call on my ring. The runes on my ring begin to glow, and I become magically aware of my surroundings.
So, using magic will increase the eye awareness. So the eye awareness goes up, and we kind of got into this last time. This is like as we roll the eyes of Sauron on non-combat dice rolls, which surprisingly we have not had any of those yet. We've had ones, we've had some eyes of Saurons, but on favored rolls. Or if we use magic, then the eye goes up. But again, that resets every session, just like our fellowship points. So that goes up as you use that magic, as though Sauron realizes, hey, something is happening somewhere in Middle-earth. So as you use this ring, and tell us just a little bit, because you've had this ring for a few adventures, but tell us how you came across this ring and what it means to you. What's the significance of this ring?
Yes, it's an ancestral artifact given to me by my fathers, and I've taken it and I wear it to help me as I go about searching for the dwarven artifacts that I seek to honor for my people.
You see a shadow just inside this doorway, and you know there are foes just inside that archway. How many, you don't know, but you know there are several. You hear them shuffling their feet as though getting ready to charge or to attack.
Now, is there a wooden plank that could be used as a bridge here on that side?
There is. It's just inside, kind of leaning up against that doorway. Link, what are you doing? Are you muted, Craig?
Oh, yeah.
Link, did we lose you? Craig?
You missed it. You
darn
missed it.
Oh, I'm sure it was epic.
I was so inspiring. I've got a tear in my eye. I'm pulling out my bow and I'm ready to cover for Frór as he works out a plan to get that plank.
Fatimer, what are you doing?
I guess I would just be waiting.
Okay. Do you have your bow out as well?
Yeah, I guess I could
Maybe
take
standing
it out.
alongside Link.
Yeah.
And Vidar, how about yourself? You saw Frór get hurled across that chasm. You likely have no intention of doing that.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely reckless. And in fact, he couldn't even look. He's just taking up the rear, making sure no one sneaks up on us and
Nice.
scowling.
Let's go to Frór then. What do you do? What's your action here?
I will pull my my traveling cloak about me to try and gain some stealth, and then I will try and retrieve this plank that I can make a bridge for my companions.
Okay, you can make a stealth roll, and your dark cloak that is in your equipment, that does give you a 1d bonus on your stealth. Oh, you missed it by 1. Okay. Here's what happens. You move close to the door. And as you do, you can see inside. I'm going to go ahead and remove the fog of war here. It's a large room filled with bandits. And as you reach for the plank, one of them says, "Hey, they're here already!" And he comes at you with a spear as your hand is reaching for the plank. We're going to go into combat. Right now, the only bandit anyone can see besides Frór is the one in the archway. Frór, you can see pretty much everybody else. You're aware of them in the other room. So,
Are we within earshot of these guys?
yes.
Or at least that one?
Yep, at least that one.
Can we quickly yell 3 scales, 2 suns, 1 tree?
Do you yell that?
Yeah.
That's going to make them pause as you yell that out. Does anyone want to take an open... Well, Frór, you could not do an opening volley. Everyone else could if you want to take an opening volley on that, or you can hold and you'll forego the opening volley to see if the words ring true. Does anyone want to do that opening volley?
Not with Frór by himself over there.
Then for close combat, the only one that could would be Frór. Do you want to assume a defensive position, an open position, or a close combat position?
I will assume a defensive position. I'll try and keep them trapped in this room and close off the doorway.
Well, there's no door. It's just an archway.
Oh, yes, I mean, like, I will try and be a bulwark.
Oh,
in the doorway
I see. Got it.
They can't get through.
Well, so Frór, we'll go to you first. You have an action. You can try to grab that board and get it in position. You may get hit, or you can try to bluff your way as though you have a reason to be here. A password was just called out, but you get to act before you see their response. What does Frór do?
I think he will quickly take this opportunity to grab the board and throw it across. Not worried if it's in place, but simply that it might get over to the other side.
So like throwing it to Haldor?
Yes.
So if you're going to toss it over, that's going to be an athletics roll. If you want to toss it over.
Oh no.
Haldor, you're going to have a chance to try to catch this. It falls short and begins to slide off down into that ravine. It's going to be an athletics roll for you to try to catch that. You're going to need 2 successes.
Can I throw a hope and be inspired with my swift?
Yes, with swift, absolutely.
Swift. Let's see.
Oh, look at that. Okay, narrate for me. How does Haldor do this?
Yeah, I'll dive forward, but not too far to fall down, so much that one hand grabs the board while the other is still holding tight to the bridge, just enough to grab it and throw it back up and lift myself out.
You've got it at the edge of your fingers, pinching as hard as you can. You can feel the splinters digging into your finger as you bring it up. In fact, you bring it up to your mouth and you grip it with your teeth so you can get a better grip with your hand. And then you swing it back towards Link. You're laying prone on your belly, but you've saved the board. The highway robber that's right there by you, Frór, says, "Hey, is you one of us now?"
Frór will shout out, Baruch Kazad Kazada Menu, as he draws out his axe and takes a mighty swing at the first bandit.
Okay, well, let's go to the next round. Because you've done your action, so your next round will be a swing. Let's just jump ahead. Round 2. You guys can choose your stances. You can move across the board if you want. You can spend your whole turn to get across safely. If you want to try to get across and make an attack, you're going to have to make an athletics roll. Or you can stay back and fire with your bow. You'll have a -1 penalty because you're trying really hard not to hit Frór, but it's still doable. Frór, do you want to remain in a defensive position?
Yes, I just want to hold them off until my companions can get here.
Perfect. Link, do you want to stay with your bow, and Fatimer with your bow?
Yes.
Okay. So, Haldor, you are first. Are you going to charge across?
Yeah, I think I'm going to charge across and hold the door with him.
Okay, give me that athletics roll. Oh, man. Got it. Just barely. Let me move you over so you're right over here. You can go ahead and swing away at that highway robber.
Yeah. I need to select him as my combat focus. There we go. All right.
Nice. We're in business.
What was that? A 7. I have keen.
Oh, yeah. Looks like
Oh,
you...
no. If
so
I had
you-
1, I still wouldn't get a piercing blow.
Yeah, that would only make it an 8. But you could add... So that 6 will make it a heavy blow if you want. And it'll add your strength bonus to the damage. And that was with your two-handed sword. Let me see what your damage... Let's see, your strength is 5. And your sword, two-handed, does 5. So do 10 damage to that guy. Let me mark that off.
Let's do... Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. The blade bites deep. It's not enough to finish him, but it definitely wounds him. There we go. Now I do... No, 11 damage. There we are. And then... so why does that show...
Yeah, I don't know why it's saying piercing blow on
yeah,
that.
that shouldn't have been...
Because it should be on a 9 or higher, and my was
You rolled a 7.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a piercing blow. I wonder... It may be picking up from your... I wonder if I mark... Oh, I wonder if I have to mark your other thing as dropped. Let me... Oops. Let me see if your bow has, for some reason, keen on there. Nope, it does not. Let me make sure your sword only has keen once. Make sure it's on there the right way. Yeah, weapon piercing blow at -1. Let me just check this other one. I don't know why that says 7. That is odd. Let's look at this one.
It says edge beaten 7.
So that's
edge beaten.
So the edge beaten. I actually asked the developer of this because I've noticed that, and he says that's the number you have to beat to make it. Like that's the threshold to make it a piercing blow. So most weapons would be a 10, but yours says 7. But it should only be a 9. Yeah, I have no idea. I'll bring this up with him. I'm going to point this out and find out why. Yeah, that's not a piercing blow,
no
but he did do a ton of damage to him. Vidar, you're up next. You're in a defensive position. Are you charging across, or are you going to just move across for your turn?
Yeah, he's just moving. He's a pretty hefty guy. He wants to take it careful on this plank.
Yeah, you managed to get across. And Frór, your turn. With your defensive focus, you can make an attack on this guy. An Eye of Sauron, but it doesn't raise the eye because it's in combat. It doesn't raise the eye awareness, but your blow falls short. Link, you've got a shot with your bow.
All right. Now I'm gonna throw a hope dice on this.
Perfect.
Hey, I finally hit something.
Look at that for 4 damage, and he's got 1 hit point left.
Oh,
Can our Hobbit take him out?
Oh, don't worry, I'll finish him off. Or not.
Or not. Close, but not quite. Alright. This guy will charge out, pushing past his companion out onto the ledge near Frór. I'm just going to move him up just so we can still see Frór's token. Let me move him down just a touch here. Right there. I'll move some guys around. Oops. This guy here that's wounded, he's going to take a swing at Haldor. Thrusts in with his spear. Ooh, and that is a hit. He's going to make it a piercing blow. So you're going to take 4 damage, but first you need to make a protection roll. So on the chat bar where it says protection roll test, I think can you click on that and it will bring up the armor protection for you. You need to beat a 14.
Yes. All right.
If not, you will take a wound. Oh!
Oh no.
Okay. So we need to make an injury roll. Let me roll that for you. Oh, so this is like last time. It's 1 day worth of injury, so not bad. Let me also assign...
Where does he stab me here?
He gets you... Where does he get you? I'm going to say he gets you in the left arm. I'm going to apply wounded to you. And you are... What's this? Did it add your 1 day wound? Let me make sure. Yep, wounded 1 day. Perfect. Gets you in the left arm, and your arm feels weak, as though it perhaps struck a nerve or stole the strength from your arm momentarily.
And is that the one that I damaged before, or
yes.
the second one that came
Yeah,
up?
the one that's very nearly finished off. The other one, let's see, he's that one that moved up. Where'd he go? That one's going to attack Frór. There we are. This one comes in at Frór with a spear. And that's a miss on Frór. We go to the next round. Does anyone want to change fighting stances?
Yeah, Vidar will go into open.
Okay. You can go ahead and move you to open. Link, do you want to stay in rearward and Fatimer in rearward?
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Haldor, you're up first.
I think we're going to try to finish this guy off as he stabbed me. Would it be more realistic to make a one-handed attack here? Given...
I think you could still... You probably won't feel the true effects of this injury until after combat, after the adrenaline wears off. If you still want to swing, like as he's piercing, as your two-handed blow comes in, I think you could. The only thing a two-handed attack does, I think it increases the injury rating.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and try to stab him as he's stabbing me.
Oh, almost a Gandalf rune, but it's still a success. For 5 damage, how do you finish this guy off?
I think I'd like to straight through the chest.
Nice. Through the chest, your sword, as you drive him into that archway, you feel the tip of your sword strike the stone, having gone completely through his body. As you pull it out, his body slumps to the side, just as another fellow moves in to take his place. Vidar, you're up next.
Yeah. Can I use it? Kind of hearten. It's weird when the rules aren't on the screen. But rally, right? Rally comrades.
I can take us back. Yeah, it's the enhearten. Let me take us back to the. I know it's super useful having that on there. So yeah, rally comrades, roll enhearten to give 1d to all who select forward stance the following round, and then rolling extra successes adds to open stance or to defensive stance as well.
Okay, it does kind of hinge on them being forward, which is dangerous.
Which two of them are right now. Let me put us back on the thing here. There we are.
And I think it's next round, right?
Yeah, so
we
it
can
would be the next
if we
round.
wanted to all choose forward based on your success, that's...
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I could probably be inspired using my leadership, I imagine, on a rallying.
Absolutely. If you spend hope, then that you would get the inspired, so it would add 2 dice to that. Ooh, what do you call out?
I think he probably just joins Frór in the battle chant, and just his voice really rings out across the rift.
You probably bang your axe against your shield as you call out a Dwarven war tune, and the two of you, bass and baritone, singing this song as it reverberates throughout this ravine. So getting 2 additional successes. So everyone that's in forward, open, or defensive will get the bonus die. Just not the rearward folk. And that will be next round. So well done. That was fantastic. Frór, your turn. What does Frór do? Nice. You hit, dealing 5 damage. Where do you strike the enemy?
Yes, a massive blow across his arm, across his sword arm, giving a blow similar to the one that Haldor took.
Like chopping a tree, and he nearly drops his spear. Link,
Yes, indeed.
you're up with a bow shot. Because it's getting crowded over there, you do have a -1 to make your shots here, but you can absolutely fire.
Oh, I'm going to stick it right in his eye. I'll go ahead and I'll use another hope.
Okay. And then if you want, instead of doing your attack, you can do the prepare shot, where you basically aim for a round to get a bonus die. That's the rearward bonus there. Your shot narrowly misses Frór just right up above his head and flies into that room, going through the archway. Fatimer, your turn.
Okay.
And yours actually falls far short and skitters along the ground at the feet of Haldor. This guy here is going after Frór. And he leans in with his spear. He tries to actually pin your foot down to the ground. And no, a very ineffective strike. The blow you dealt on his friend's arm clearly has him somewhat shaken. His friend is going after Haldor in a fight to the death with Haldor. Spear thrust comes in at the groin. He knows where to strike a man, where to make it hurt, and thankfully he misses. Let's see. From the other room, a bow shot rings out, and this shot is going to be aimed at Vidar. And he'll have a penalty on this. And it misses Vidar, but not by much. We go to the next round. Does anyone want to change stance?
Yeah, I'll go to forward.
Okay. So everyone in close combat, forward, open, or defensive, will get a 1d bonus on your attack this round. Haldor, you're up.
I'm gonna go swing at the one. He goes to stab me, and I deflect his blow. I'm gonna swing at him, going for the throat here.
Nice.
And if I'm not mistaken, I get +1 for being in forward, and then plus another.
Yep.
For
So I think it'll automatically do the +1 for forward, but you'll want to add the one. So on the bottom, it shows like all the sixes. Do like one to the right. It may already have one highlighted for the forward.
Yeah, one was. So we got 2.
Perfect.
Extra.
Oh,
And we go
nice hit.
for a throat shot.
It is a hit for 5. He's had 11, so he's now sitting at 6 hit points. As you slash the blade across his throat, and a spray of blood comes out. It wasn't a fatal wound, but definitely he cowers back from the effects of that blow. Vidar, as you rush in, axe high. Who do you hurl yourself at? Probably the one that's already wounded? No.
I see this one with 4 targets on it.
Go for the other one?
It might be nice to clear the doorway, though. That's the point.
Especially if they're going to start firing arrows through the archway at you.
Right. So Vidar is trying to, like, charge this guy down, basically. Oh, dear.
Ooh, an Eye of Sauron. No.
I've rolled quite a few of those tonight.
You have. Frór, your turn.
Ready for my axe for another blow.
And you get the +1 because of Vidar's enheartening rally. Oh, I thought that was a Gandalf rune. That would have been nice. Link.
I'm going to. I will do my steady shot.
Oh, nice. So, again, to do that, you make a scan roll, and then you get 1d bonus on your next attack, plus an extra one for any 6s that you happen to roll. So go ahead and make that scan roll. No, there's dwarves flying everywhere.
Just a little shy.
Just hurl that bow down into the chasm. Yeah. Fatimer, your turn. Oh, Fatimer.
Nice.
Okay, he needs to make a protection roll with, let's see. Oh, he is protected. His armor holds, but he takes the 3 damage from your bow. And he's now at 3 hit points. Alright, this one is on Frór. Frór, he comes in with his spear. He's aiming for the knee. This isn't to wound, this is to cripple. Ooh. That is a failure. Had that been a success, that would have been a piercing blow. Missed it by 1. And this one here is going after Haldor. And he's going for the groin again. He sets the spear down between your feet and then slashes upwards. And the Gandalf rune counts as an Eye of Sauron for them, so that's a miss as well. And now the arrows begin to stream in. First one is coming in at Vidar. And that's a miss. The second one also comes in at Vidar. Ooh. Vidar, you need to make a protection roll or be wounded. You're also going to take a heap of damage. This strikes you in the chest. So on the chat screen you can see make a protection roll. You are protected. Your armor holds true. However, I'm going to assign damage to you. And you are now made weary. And the last arrow comes in, and this one comes in at Haldor.
Uh-oh.
If this is a wound, you will be dying. So make a protection roll. Ooh. Okay, who is your... does someone have Haldor as their fellowship focus?
Don't think so.
Is it Vidar? No,
I think
yours
I
is
had him
Frór.
as mine, but the dwarves were each other's.
That's right. Yes. Okay, so no one takes any shadow. Need to make an injury roll for you. Oh, okay, this is good. This is good. So it's this only lasts for the combat. So you're still dying, but it's not going to be a lasting injury as long as you get some first aid. You can. So you need first aid. You need a healing roll, successful healing roll within an hour. Otherwise, you are dead. You hit the ground. Severely wounded. You can do that to yourself. You're still conscious, but you see the blood just pouring out of your actually where did it hit you? There's an arrow maybe in the gut, and you know that this will be fatal if not treated. Let's go to the next round. You can change stances if you like.
Now, with me dying, am I still a possible target for the enemies?
They will probably leave you alone.
Then I will stay in this stance and do a healing roll on myself. I think I'll
Do you want to
struggle to
get
pull
into
out.
a defensive stance? Well, yeah, if they're not going to attack you, then it's no big deal. So yeah, if you want to stay in that stance, that way you can do the healing roll early. Anyone else want to change? Was everybody happy where they're at? Okay, go ahead and do your healing roll. And you've got King's Foil, right?
Yes, so I
we'll add a bonus
can
die.
take an extra die from that. And we will do it.
Come on. Oh, nice. Got it. Okay.
There we go. I stick some dry King's Foil, plug up the hole to stop the bleeding, and
Now, had you gotten
Get
an
back
extra
in it.
success, it would have removed that extra day of healing that you need. But you're still just wounded, but you're not dying. So that's
I've got just the one wound from earlier, essentially.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see. And that will heal up in a day. You'll remain wounded until like you get a good night's rest, and then you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Vidar, your turn. Oh, so you're weary, so that 3 counts as a 0.
Doesn't matter anyways. I got a 14, so.
Oh, yeah, shoot. A Gandalf rune would have still been a success. Frór, your turn.
Oh, I ended my turn at the same time.
Oh, sorry. Frór, go ahead.
If I use hope, can I become inspired with my stern feature?
Yes. And if you guys want to use a fellowship point, you can make a combat roll favored. Just let me know if you want to do that, and I'll reduce it. Those fellowship points, you get them all back at the start of the next session. So, there we go. Ooh, okay. Let me have him make a protection roll against this. He is protected, but he takes 12 damage. Let me apply that, which this guy had, what, 1 hit point? So, how do you take out this highway robber?
I will cleave through one of his legs, and then as he falls to the ground, I'll drive my axe down on his chest, and then I'll move up to the doorway to try and block the others.
I'm going to move you up and in there. Link.
All right. I'm going to try my bow. Hey, I
Nice,
hit.
a success. 4 damage. And that guy is down to 12 hit points. Fatimer. Fatimer, that's a terrible roll. Nice try, though. All right. This guy... Let's see, I'm going to move Vidar up. This guy's going after Vidar. With a spear.
Ugh.
Okay, make a protection roll, Vidar. You are protected. You take 4 damage, which you're down to 11. This guy will move up and is going to engage Frór with a spear. That is a miss. This one will... He's going to move to the side. The 2 of them can both reach at you through the archway. Ooh. Okay, you need to make a protection roll, Frór, as that spear tries to get through your mail shirt. You are protected, but you take 9 damage. And are you now weary? Let me apply that. And this last one will step over, and he's going to take a shot at Vidar. Oh my gosh. Okay. Vidar, you are wounded. Let me apply that first. We need to see how long you're wounded for. Oh, good. Just for the effects of the combat. That's not bad. You also take endurance damage. You are about to fall. You've got 2 points of endurance left before you fall unconscious. Haldor, your turn.
With a lot of anger and a little bit of my vigor back from this king's foil stuck in my belly, I'm gonna swing on. Let's see, there's 3 of them right here in the doorway now.
Yep.
I'm gonna swing on the one. Which one just hit Vidar?
He's
I've been
actually
shot,
back
I
here
think
with
I
a bow.
Oh, the one back there. Okay.
I got shot twice. I don't know who the other one was or where he's at now.
He was... Oh, this one right here. He got you with a spear.
Can I do an athletics check to try to shove him off the
Yes.
the side?
Yep, absolutely. I was waiting for this.
I'm coming in. I'll take a hope for it. We're knocking this guy off.
Okay. How do you heave
Rush
him
forward
off of the
and-
edge?
Yeah, just sword in hand, throw him off.
You hear the Wilhelm scream as he plunges down into the ravine, and then the loud crack as his spine is broken on the rocks down below. I was waiting for that. Excellent. Vidar, with the last of your strength, what do you do? Oh, did you guys want to change stances? I forgot to ask.
Yeah, actually I will, because, maybe forward stance gives him a chance of doing something before he dies. He'll hurl himself forward at the enemy.
And you can go for that guy right there. Perfect. Do you want to spend a fellowship point to make this roll favored?
Yeah, it's like a last gasp. Heroic effort, I
Yeah,
suppose.
you call upon Balin. Let me reduce the fellowship by 1. Oh, there we go. All right, so then make it favored. So when you go to click on it, do you see where to do that?
Yeah, favorite,
Okay.
ill fate.
Yep,
Yeah.
perfect. Make it favored. Oh, look at that. Okay, let's see if he makes his protection roll. Okay, how do you kill this guy?
It's like a almost a incoherent last vicious attack, and there's really no defense against it. They just cut him to ribbons with the axe.
If you want, you can step over his body into that room, or you can stay here.
Yeah, I like to think the momentum would carry him forward a little.
Yeah, let me move you in. Yeah, just like
Sorry.
that. Perfect. Frór, you're up.
Right, so it says I'm weary, but my endurance is still more than my load. So, is that what makes you weary? I thought that was...
Yeah, you... Why did you go weary? Let me take a look. Frór is protected. Frór is weird. You took 9. Is that the only damage you've taken? Was that 9? Yeah, you shouldn't be weary.
Well, because I think it applied it, but then it didn't say anything. I think you might have applied it twice.
The weary? Because you've only taken
Or
9
just
damage.
The damage, yeah. Because
Yeah, so I'm looking back in the
Yeah.
chat log, and I do see an attack where you got hit for 9 damage, and you're only down 9. So I don't think you are weary. Let me just scroll back real quick. Yeah, that's the only hit that has gone against you. So you're not weary. Let me make sure there. That's taken off of your character. That should make that a little easier for you to hit stuff.
Right, so I will make another attack with my axe.
Oh, and when Vidar, when you got wounded, Frór is Vidar. No, Vidar is not your Haldor.
He's got Fatimer.
Yeah, Haldor, your fellowship focus is Vidar, and he got wounded. You're going to take a point of shadow. Oh my gosh, Frór.
Whoa!
And since we took a point of shadow, how do you hew that guy into the ground?
Another mighty blow across the chest, and he falls to the ground. As I pull my axe out, I will then step forward into the room.
Now, in the room, you see one more spear-wielding highway robber, and then the ruffian chief with a sword in hand. Link, your turn. The bridge is clear if you want to head across. And Fatimer as well if you want to head across. Or you can stay here just in case.
I'll head over.
Go ahead and move you over to there. And Fatimer, do you want to cross as well?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. There you go. I'll let you move yourself over. The ruffian chief draws a sword and bears down upon Frór. "Fools, you've ruined everything!" he cries out. "Taste my blade." And no, you do not taste his blade. And the highway robber, he's going to go after Vidar. You guys are like a 2-dwarf wrecking ball over here. Let's roll this.
Close.
Nice. That was close. Next round, anyone want to change stances?
Now that I'm over there, I'll probably go open.
Okay, and you draw out your spear.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to change to forward stance.
Okay, and how about Fatimer?
No.
From here, you could keep your bow out and shoot into
Yeah,
that ring.
I was planning on just like staying in the doorway and shooting.
Okay. Vidar, you're up
I think I'm
first.
gonna go defensive and hang back.
You're gonna hang. Are you gonna go defensive? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you're clinging to life, much like Vidar is clinging to. But Vidar's going out swinging.
You gotta have a good story told about you after your death.
Well, and these two dwarves, like all it takes is one swing.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Okay. It's gonna be another piercing blow. So that's the secret with Vidar. Okay, we just have to get him at death's door. How do you take this guy out?
Yeah, I think he was doing a battle chant, but now he's just like shouting and it's just in rage, and he's just hacking away, and it's pretty scary. I think it's hard to defend against.
Dang. Frór, you're up. You can see what your companion is doing while his life's blood is spilling out.
Can I try to inspire Frór and give him some hope?
Yes, because you're the fellowship focus.
Um,
You are his focus. But if you want to aid him in combat, you
Yeah.
can. Yeah, you can spend a point of hope. What do you say to encourage him?
Well, I'll yell out, "Come on, friend, we've almost got him. Just one more left. You can do it."
Go for it, Frór.
For Fatimer.
Oh,
Nice.
33 damage.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. How do you take out the boss?
Right, I shout a deep bellowing dwarven cry, Baruch Kazad Kazad Amenu, as I bring my axe down upon his chest, and I embed it deep, and it hits his heart, and then I pull it out and stand victorious over the chieftain.
That's awfully bloody. Okay, you have vanquished these foes. Now we have some wounded companions. Now, Vidar, you have had first aid, but Frór, you could benefit from some first aid as well. Vidar, you're not. You could do another first aid, Vidar. You're not dying, but you're still wounded.
Yeah, could I do a healing check on Vidar, who is wounded?
Yes.
Me and Vidar are the only ones wounded, right?
Yep.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and do some healing, sharing some of my Ethelas with my buddy.
Oh wow, you're good at this.
Nice. So,
I misread that. I didn't know that was a 9. I just saw that as Sarah.
So since your wound only lasted through the combat, you are now no longer wounded. You are still weary, though. And Haldor, you are wounded for another day. You've already had first aid done by yourself on that. In fact, I don't... Let me double check. I don't think you can have an additional... Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I think what the deal is one healing check on a person per day,
Right.
with the idea being you don't really know if it worked or not to have an excuse to do it again. It's kind of like, let's see if that helped, and tomorrow we'll know.
Yeah, each hero may be administered a successful first aid only once. A failed healing roll cannot be repeated until at least a new day has passed. Nice. Excellent. So, this seems to be perhaps the fallback camp of the bandits. They clearly were aware that we were coming, and so they fled into here, but they have now been vanquished. Frór, I know you as a treasure hunter were keen on finding some loot. Let's make some rolls to see what we find. We do find a lesser horde here. Now, the way that hordes work, especially a lesser horde, I've got some notes here because I always forget what you roll. You'll roll a d6 and we'll multiply it by 5 by the number of people in the party, and that's how many units of treasure we find. And then you can also roll 2 feat dice. And so to roll the... nice, so we find 25 units of treasure. To roll the feat dice... let me type out what you will roll. You'll type out /R2DF. You will, don't type, but do /R2DF for 2 dice feet. And it will roll 2 feat dice. This is to see if we get magical stuff. And we do not. But we do find 25 units of treasure. Now, you guys are welcome to take as much treasure as you want. This game doesn't really reward like stockpiling money because there's no prices for anything. You kind of just have the money that you need to buy stuff within reason. But if you want to take treasure, you can. But each point of treasure costs 1 load.
I think if I'm not mistaken, once you get to a certain threshold of treasure, you can bump up your standard of living.
Yes, absolutely. And I was just looking that up to see where that was. The good news is that we would have enough here to buy a horse for our companion that is mountless. I think it's 165. I was just looking for this on the treasure. Where is it? Let's see. Shoot, I thought it was right here. I may have to find this after the fact, but yeah, you bump up your standard of living. Maybe it's in the beginning. See if I can get it. I will find it after the fact, so I'm not wasting our time looking for it. But yeah, you can bump up your standard of living, and then you can afford kind of better stuff. But we would have enough here if we needed to buy a mount for Haldor. We could, which would be useful. So, and just like in the Hobbit, you might bury a bunch of treasure, and you know where it is if you ever need it. You can come back for it, kind of thing. But we have conquered whatever is going on as far as the bandits, there is an open archway just to the side of us here. There is more inside here, or we can be content with having done what Balin sent us to do. Maybe let me have Haldor, as a ranger, give me a lore roll.
Alrighty. This isn't pertaining to shadow lore, is it?
It is.
Yeah,
So, that could be inspired.
we'll take it. Let's get it.
Great success. That light that you've seen, and looking at this ancient place and the chill in the air, you suspect that there is a tomb in here, and that there are things in the Trollshaws that are not living but still wander the earth. And your fear is that deeper inside this complex, you may encounter such a thing, a wight or some sort of fell creature, a spirit of shadow and darkness. You guys are pretty badly hurt, so
Yeah.
you can walk away here, and Balin would be happy.
I think that I'll keep that feeling, that knowledge to myself, but make note to maybe come back at some point and take care of this when we're a little bit more, a little bit fresher
Yeah.
than we are currently. And I don't want to really freak anybody out at the moment, so keep that little one to myself.
Perfect. We still have one more step to do, and it's kind of an easy one. We're going to a place that we've already conquered and reclaiming something. And since we're up on towards the end of the session, if we're done here, I'm going to move us back to Gathol-Zigil. Anything else that we want to do here? Does anyone object to leaving here now that we've gotten rid of the bandits?
Just to make note, we did take the treasure that we found.
Perfect. As much as you could carry.
Frór is sad to not discover what that light was, but he agrees that we're in no shape to keep fighting bandits.
And you do know that whatever treasure might still lie deeper within here that not even the bandits were likely to go after will still be here the next time you pass by. Let's go. Let's take a short rest for your characters. You've won the battle. You probably rest here. So if you want to do that short rest, you can recover points. It's different for people that are wounded. So for Haldor it will be different, but this is a chance for everyone else to recover some endurance. And so if you want to do a short rest here, like a 1 hour rest, on your character sheet it's below resources and above your combat stuff. You can click on that button to try and recover some endurance. During this rest, if anyone wants to try to recover some hope, or to get it out of the fellowship pool, we still have 6 points sitting in the fellowship pool if anyone wants to convert some of those to hope.
Yes, would the
Feel like
fellowship
throwing-
be alright if I took 2 points? I'm down to 4 hope right now.
And Haldor is also down to 4.
For sure, I'll take one, if that's all right.
So that will leave us with 3. Perfect. All right, we are going to complete our journey that we started a while ago. Let's pull our journey back up. And so we need another travel roll from our guide.
Alrighty. Let's see what. Oh, nice.
Nice. So that will be an additional 4 hexes. which may 1, 2, 3. That's going to put us at the angle. Yeah, so that will get us there. So we don't need to have an event because we get there within the allotted time. When we reach the mines of Gathol-Zigil, we are reminded of the solemnity of why we are here. That the mines, I'm going to pull up that Dwarven map. The mines are a tomb for all the dwarves that have fallen here. But over here in this room is where Drór lay disturbed in his eternal rest. The two dwarves that are in the party, you've been in here before, and it is with great solemnity that you approach. It will take an explorer roll to find this cave. I'm going to have Frór make this for us.
I will use my spyglass to scan the hills and find this entrance.
Okay. It was hidden. It did take a roll last time, and with your spyglass, you're able to find it again. It's almost as though it seems to want to hide itself, as though the dwarven craftsmanship of that doorway have somehow kept at bay any raiders or marauders, except for those that somehow stumbled in. And once you enter into the passageway, it's very still and silent. The great threat that loomed here has been slain, and now it is as quiet as a tomb. You make your way through the maze of tunnels, eventually finding that Hall of the King, where Drór's body lay broken on the ground amidst piles of rubble that were once a great statue and sarcophagus to him. You see his bony hand missing a finger, chopped off with a crude axe, the ring of power stolen, and his bones seem to leer up at you, and the weight of what you're here to do presses in upon you. How do you care for Drór, King?
Vidar has some knowledge of crafting, slightly. The tomb itself was cracked, right?
Yes.
Sorry,
The sarcophagus. Yep.
So I mean that would have to be repaired. Well, besides for the hand, I'm sure the king's intact.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it would be clean it up a little, clean the dust off the sarcophagus. You know, get that lid repaired if we can.
If Vidar wants to repair the sarcophagus, Frór will see that the king is positioned more reverently, that he might be laid to rest.
And as you move his body to reposition him, Frór, give me a scan roll. As you move his body, it shifts, and his head, skeletal and grim-looking, with bits of red hair still clinging to the dried scalp that remains on the bone. It lolls towards you as though he regards you, as though to say, who disturbs this tomb of the king? And you whisper solemn and powerful things in Dwarvish, such that Vidar even pauses, hearing the gravity of your words. And he takes off his helm and hurries about his task. And as you move the body of the king, your eye lights upon something beneath him. And beneath him was a cloth his body was resting upon. That cloth is all but rotted away. And from here you see the glint of metal. And you see an axe, runes carved into the blade. The blade showing no sign of corrosion or age or weathering. The wooden handle still stout and firm, still showing the grip marks of mighty King Drór. It is as though when he regarded you, he revealed to you his most prized possession. He valued this above even that ring. This is the axe of Drór, once king.
Well, this is clearly a magnificent weapon. Surely I must have heard of it in tales before.
Give me a lore roll. No. You try to recall what you might know of this great axe, but it eludes you. Now, do you reach out and touch it?
I think that I would lift it out, that it might be exposed to the light, that we might see the magnificent craftsmanship of the axe.
As you lift it, it is heavy yet light in your hands. You know that this could fell a dozen foes before your arm would grow weary, that the blade would drink of orc blood and bone. But as you pick it up, you hear an ancient voice that seems to resound throughout the chambers, but you hear it only inside your head. And the voice says, "No, stout dwarf. I am meant for another. Pass him Drór's judgment." And you look down and you see Vidar solemnly chiseling away at a fresh slab of stone that he has freed from amongst the ruins. What do you do, Frór, as you touch this axe and it seems to yearn for the hand of another?
I'll say, Frór, excuse me, Vidar, this axe, I believe that you should wield it. I think that would please Drór.
Vidar look up from the sarcophagus, kind of not confused, but like, sensing the gravity of the moment. Take the axe gently.
And you can drag that from the chat onto your character sheet. And what do you do with your own axe? Yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah, very heavy. Doubly so. Triply so. Yeah, well, I'm afraid my axe would pale in comparison to this surely fabled piece, but perhaps it would still comfort him to leave it there with him, or perhaps maybe add it to the top of the sarcophagus.
As you heft the axe, something strange happens. It is as though you hear a chorus of dwarven voices echoing through the chambers. Baruch Kazad, Kazad Aimenu, as though Drór's judgment is ready to be meted out upon those deserving of it. As you grip the axe, tears flow freely from your eyes as you feel your hands in the same spots where the king once held the axe. You can see where the polish has been worn smooth on the wood, and you vow to tend to this axe as you would if it were your own mother. You would tend to her as well. Not by sharpening her with a stone or rubbing oil on her, but by taking good care of her. You now hold Drór's judgment. This is a fabled weapon. Now, this long-hafted axe was made for one of the seven who bore the rings of power. It was last wielded by King Drór before he fell into shadow and legend. Born with one or two hands, a long-hafted axe is designed to hack through the toughest of armor. It is difficult to maneuver, but when mastered, it is a fearful weapon. Now, this has superior grievous, which adds 2 to its damage rating. So this does 2 more points of damage than your other axe did. This also has other features, and you can unlock those as your your valor goes up. As your valor improves, you can take a new reward, and you can choose one from a list, or you can unlock a reward from this fabled or famous weapon. So I'll leave that up to you to decide what to do, because we're going to have a chance to actually improve stuff here in just a moment. In this campaign, I have a specific famous weapon or armor for each of you. And Luke, this is yours. There are other magic items as well, much like Frór's ring, but there is a specific item for each of you. This is the one from the campaign for you, and this will serve you well in Moria. As you finish placing the king back into his new coffin, the two dwarves spend a moment perhaps singing dwarven songs of lament and dwarven songs of valor, and this will reduce the dwarves' shadow by 3 points, having completed this task for Balin. The rest of you will remove 1 point for having done what Balin sent you to do. So your shadow, whatever you had, drop it by 1, but the dwarves will drop it by 3. The journey back to Bree is uneventful. In the One Ring, the journeys back are always just Indiana Jones red line. Magically the hobbits go from Minas Tirith to the Shire in but a blink of an eye. Same thing holds true here. The journey back, there are certainly events. There's things that we undertake and hardships that we endure, but all that matters is that we get back safe. And when we return to the Prancing Pony, and I've got some peaceful music, and I've got the Fantasy Tavern. There we go. As we get back to Bree, Balin is overjoyed to see us and to hear of what we have done. This will start another fellowship phase, and we'll probably stay here for a few weeks. This gives a chance for everyone to heal up. So let me set a passage of time. There, Haldor's not wounded. Everyone can heal up all of your endurance. That will all be healed up. Your hope will increase according to your heart score. So if you look at your attributes on your character sheet, your heart score, it's the one in the little box. So like Fatimer, yours is 6. So your hope will go up by 6 points. And then we also will have a chance to do some improvements. Let me give some experience points here. Everyone gets 3 experience points. Perfect.
Sorry, did you say our hope is half of our...
No, so it goes up by your heart score. So whatever your heart score is...
The number of the heart score, okay.
Yeah. Like your heart score is 6, so your hope would go up by 6 for this fellowship phase. Likewise, in the fellowship phase, you kind of decide what you're going to do. You're going to definitely meet with Balin again, but then we can also go through another undertaking. We've got a few different ones that we can choose from. One that we could do that might be nice is to take Drór's Judgment and research magic weapons, and we can discover what the other features of that weapon are. We also get to improve based on our experience points. So there's a table. Let me find it and I'll post it. So the cheat sheets, fellowship phase, right there. Perfect. So can you guys all see that cheat sheet there?
Yeah.
So that shows how much it will cost to improve something during the fellowship phase. So you should have skill points and adventure points on your character sheet. And you get 3 every time you participate in a session. So you can increase a skill. You can pick up a 1 level in a skill. If you have no levels, that will cost you 4 points. You can go from a 1 to a 2, will cost you 8, and so on. 2 to a 3 will cost you 12. If you want to pick up a new rank of Valor or Wisdom, to go from the first rank you already have, but to go to rank 2 will cost you 8 points of that. So your skill points will be used to improve skills only, and then Valor or Wisdom or combat proficiencies are adventure points, so they're separate. And if you need help updating, because it's kind of tricky, you have to like hold down the Alt key and then click on the dot. So if you want to make an improvement, let me know and I can make sure it happens on your character. And when you improve your Valor, you get a new reward, either an upgrade to a current weapon or item or a new weapon or item. Or, Luke, you could unlock the next thing on your axe. Or if you improve your Wisdom, then you get an ability upgrade, like one of the virtues. So you might improve your hope or add points to your endurance or things like that. Any improvements anyone wants to make?
We've got 6 points then.
You might have 9, because I think I gave you points for the session before we started the campaign. Yeah, so you've got 9. You have 9 skill and 9 adventure points.
So I could do a Valor too.
Yeah, I think Link, you've got 6. Yep, you've got 6, and Haldor, you have 6. Frór, you've got 9 as well. No, you have 12. Oh yeah, you've done a couple sessions before. You've got 12, and Fatimer, I think you've got 9. You've got 9, yeah.
And just to make sure I understood right, if I have something that's already at a 2, to raise it from 2 to 3, that would be 12
That'd
points.
Be 12
total.
Points, yep.
For just that one, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we are going to save up this round.
How about Fatimer? Any improvements that you want to make, or do you want to save your points?
So it's to go from 1 to 2, it's 8 points?
Yes, from 1 to 2 is 8 points. From 0 to 1 is 4 points.
Okay. I think maybe I'll go to 2 in healing.
Okay, so let me give you a second rank in healing. Okay, and then I'm going to reduce your skill points by 8. So you've got 1 skill point. And now you still have adventure points. This can be to increase Valor or Wisdom or a combat proficiency. Or you can hold on to those.
I'll just hold on to it.
Okay. How about for Vidar?
Yeah, that Valor upgrade might be thematic.
Especially getting this, famous item that'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You want to bump up your Valor?
Yeah, I would like to do that.
Okay, let me bump your Valor up.
What was the first reward on that item?
So the first one is Superior... Is it Superior Grievous? Let me take a look.
Yeah, I think it's that one. There's
Nice.
3.
Yeah, and so as part of the Fellowship focus, we're going to do the magic item investigation. So you will determine these are the 3: Superior Grievous, Flame of Hope, and Rune-Scored Weapon. So now that you've increased your Valor, you get a new reward. And you can take Flame of Hope and add it to this weapon, and that will make that active. Or you can choose another one, like Close-Fitting Armor or something like that, or a different Grievous weapon.
All right. So what is... because I do want to do the Valor, but what is Wisdom?
So Wisdom is going to be virtues. And so virtues are things like... In fact, if you go to I think I made them all visible. If you go to items, it's going to have characteristics, and then there should be virtues. And you can choose there should be commons. You should have observable rights. You can choose any of the commons, or as a dwarf of Durin's folk, you can choose any one of those dwarven ones as well. There's even one called Baruch Kazad.
Okay, that one's pretty cool. Good to know. Yeah, I definitely. I like Flame of Hope. That's pretty fitting for Vidar as like a team guy.
Perfect. So let me reduce your... That's just going to affect your adventure points. So you still have 9 skill points if you want to bump up a skill, or you can hoard that for next time.
And that's just a skill to go up from 0 to 1. I guess I could do 8, right?
You could, yeah,
So
you could go from 1 to 2.
That might... Oh, I'm already at 2. I was going to say that. In fact, just so that he could do more rolls, I'd like to put 1 in awareness. Get a little bit better at scouting or looking out.
Yeah, I'll drop that in awareness. There we go. Got 1 in awareness, and that will cost you 4. So let me adjust your skill points so you're down to 5 of those. Perfect. And so now just recall when you are using your axe that you do have the Flame of Hope. So when you hit a target, everyone in the company gets 1 point of endurance back. And so like that would have been super useful in that bandit encounter. How about Frór? Do you want to raise anything?
I'm just gonna save my points.
Okay. And how about Haldor? You saving your points?
Yeah, I think we're gonna hold on to him. Yeah.
And Link.
Yeah, I'm holding on. I can't do anything.
You've got 6 points. You could take a skill from 0 to level 1.
Oh, I thought I only had 3.
Nope, you've got 6. I gave you credit for the last one shot that you did with me.
Oh, okay. No, I'm gonna hold out because I want to get my combat up somehow.
So yeah, so combat, that'll be your adventure points, of which you also have 6. So like if you want to bump up your, let's see, what are your levels? So you've got 2 in spears, 2 in bows. So to go to what, level 3? Grab that. I just had it and I just lost it. The level 3 will cost you 12.
12.
Yeah, 12 points.
Yeah.
So you're halfway.
Okay. Yep. I'll just wait.
Awesome.
And does our fatigue go away?
Yeah, so we're going to spend at least 2 weeks here, and so everyone's fatigue will go back to 0. And everyone
Wonderful.
should no longer be wounded. Weary should be gone from everyone.
Does our shadow recover?
Oh, yes. Thank you. We're going to recover some shadow. So it is part of spiritual recovery. So not only do you get your heart score number of hope points back, but I weigh the actions that you undertook against the broader context of the Twilight of the Third Age. And if your actions have been marginally interfered with the return of the shadow, it would be remove 1 shadow point. If it's actively hindered or damaged the enemy, 2, and 3 is like a great feat. This would be marginally interfered, having dealt with some bandits. If you go back into those ruins and face what you fear might be lurking there, that would be more significant for this. So everyone can remove 1 point of shadow for having done a good job doing good things in Eriador. With shadow, recall there's a couple ways you can handle shadow. So as you begin to accumulate shadow, before it reaches your hope maximum, you can take a shadow scar. You'll convert all of your shadow into 1 shadow scar that becomes semi-permanent, and your shadow will then just be, it'll basically be 1 because you have 1 shadow scar. It'll get rid of everything else. And then during Yule, you can get rid of a shadow scar. If your shadow is ever equal to your hope score, then the only way you can get it down is to have a bout of madness, and that's where you progress along your the bad track, the shadow path, and you'll take flaws. And once you have 4 of those, if you get 1 more, then your character just kind of wanders off into the wilderness and is never seen from again. Life has just gotten the worst of them. So if your shadow ever gets unmanageable, that's kind of how you can deal with it. You can take a scar, or hope for Yule, where you can get rid of all your shadow. Let me reset our Eye of Mordor and our fellowship points. So we still had 3 fellowship points that went unused. So We did better than last time. Last time I think we used 1. This time we actually used 4 of them, so that's good. But definitely, recall you can use those in combat or use them during a rest to heal up points of hope. Any questions about the system or about kind of what we've done so far, where we're at in the campaign? I'm going to look into the rule for the treasure, because I really want Haldor to get a horse. That will help with fatigue. A little, but anything is better than nothing. I'll find that in the meantime. Otherwise, I'll see you all in 2 weeks.
Okay,
Good
thank you
stuff.
very much.
Thanks,
y'all.
everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
That was fun.
Had a